you don't want to have this proliferation. But you have
Hey, what's
5
going on,
countries and
Santinos? Paulie
getting more.
here.
China
Rick
is much less
Fletcher
than us right now, but
Yep.
they're going to catch
doing a
us
special cold
sooner
opening
than people think. They're way
Monday
lower.
night.
Russia and us are
Of
number
course, right
1,
now,
and
happening
we're
live
sort of tied.
is
And China is far
the huge
behind, but
event
they're
on
developing at a
X,
level
Twitter.
that you're not surprised to hear very fast.
Elon Musk
It's
talking to
they'll end
Trump,
up
and
catching up, maybe even
Yeah.
surpassing.
we
But to
thought
me,
by
the
now
biggest
would be over,
problem
but it
is
started
not
like literally 40,
climate
45 minutes
change.
late.
It's not, and everything's
So
a problem. But it's
what we're
degrees.
gonna
To
do
me, the
is
big problem
we
is
have it
the
running.
nuclear power. The
Let me know
power
how it sounds
of
in the chat.
nuclear is so great.
I
And
mean,
when
we're
I
gonna
talk
cover
about
it.
I'll prevent
Our
world,
underrated.
I'll
host,
prevent
but we're
World War
gonna let
III.
it play
I will, but the
live
truth
with you
is that
guys. We'll be in the
you have
chat.
to,
We'll be
because
here.
this is no longer
Fletcher,
army
you got anything
tanks
to
going
say?
back and forth
No,
and
yeah,
shooting at
I
each other.
think
This is a
Elon says
level
that
of
the
destruction
servers, I
and
guess, were under
power
attack by
that
some malicious
nobody's ever seen.
bots. So it did
Yeah.
start late. But yeah, let us know, guys, if you have any questions for us. We're going to be listening and chiming in. But yeah, we're just going to check this out for as long as we can
Absolutely.
and see what happens. This is something completely new for us.
And this is historic.
nuclear electricity
1.3 million at one
but
time, and I think it's like
one of
Right.
the
1.2 right
stages
now
of
live.
electricity generation.
Can you
It's
imagine any
just
other
a huge
political candidate
misunderstanding.
doing this? Having the
And
guts
if
to
you look at
go
the
and
injuries
talk
and deaths,
to Elon Musk.
caused by,
Um,
I mean, I'm not going to try to pick on coal mining, but just
I'd
any
love
kind of
your
mining
thoughts in the
operation.
chat right now.
And there's
¿Qué
no certain
más?
number.
We got a poll
of
going
injuries and deaths
on.
per
We
year.
have tons of
You
items
compare
to
that to
go over
nuclear. Nuclear is
that are not
actually
politically
way better.
related.
So
But
it's
this
underrated
is taking
as an
precedence,
electricity source, and I
and
think it's something
that's
that's
why
worth
we're live with you
reconsidering. But
guys.
there's so much
We are
regulation
live.
that people can't get
Facebook,
it done.
X, and
So
YouTube.
that,
Do me a
Maybe
favor.
they'll have to
Make sure
change
you
the
have it,
name.
subscribe.
you know,
The
Let's
name it's a rough
let's
name.
listen
There
on
are
in.
some areas like
Yes, rough
when
name.
you see what happened in
Good bad
right.
branding. The
We'll have to
branding
rebrand it. We'll have to give it a good name. We'll name it after you or something.
no,
No, it has a branding problem. When you see what happened,
it does have a branding problem.
when you see what happened in Japan, where they say you won't be able to go on the land for about 3,000 years. Did you ever see that? And in Russia, where they had the problem, where they, there's a lot of bad things happened, and they have a problem. And they say that in 2,000 years, people will start to occupy the land again. You realize it's pretty bad.
No,
but,
that's not true.
But you're right about it. It's amazing.
It's actually not that bad. So like after Fukushima happened in Japan,
Okay, they're talking Fukushima and talking about the nuclear accident.
Can
Can I just do a quick rundown on what has been discussed? It's pretty prolific. Here are my notes. Like I said, they started late due to that. What you were saying, the delay was.
And I donated
They talked about the assassination. Of course, it was riveting.
System for a water treatment plant.
Then he goes into immigration.
Yeah, but you haven't been
topic
feeling
is
so well lately.
number one
I'm
issue.
worried about it.
No,
And
but I mean,
tax and
I'm only
tips.
kidding.
it's
I'm
fine,
How the Biden
it's
administration
like,
hired extra IRS
Hiroshima
to go after
and
people with
Nagasaki
tax and
were
tips.
bombed,
You know
and now
what? They
they're
absolutely
full
did that
cities
to me.
again. So
Right.
it's really not
Legal immigration
something that,
system.
you know,
Mention of
Yeah,
what
right.
they did to Biden.
It's
I
not as
think
scary
it's
as people
interesting
think, basically. But
that Musk really
let's see. I
kind
mean,
of
are there some other topics we should touch on?
was strong on
like
legal
lawfare,
immigration,
I think,
and
we need to
whether
be
they're
concerned
even
about
What they've
illegal,
done to
that
this country.
they're good
Obviously.
people
Yeah.
in regards
Well,
to
we just
people
won the
working
big
here.
case in
I thought that
Florida.
was interesting.
This was a Biden administration
Trump
did something that's never
mentioned
been
what
done
they
in
did
this
to Biden, how they
country,
pushed him out.
and that's go after
Kamala
their political
flip-flops on the border
opponent, me,
stance.
with this
Talks about
nonsense.
Putin in the pipeline,
And
Biden's
just
record on
nonsense.
Keystone
And the big
Pipeline,
case in
dealing
Florida
with
we
world
won.
leaders.
But they always pick a
Do you think
judge
Biden and
and
Kamala
and they
could
use
do
local
this?
DAs. They
Getting on
use the
this
local
conversation.
attorney
Economy
generals,
was also the big one. Gas
like Fani,
prices,
Fani,
drilling back.
spelled
Education.
F-A-N-I,
They talked
Fani.
about education.
And
No one's
it's
talking
all a big
about
hoax,
education
and it's
right
all
now.
run from there. Like in
Government spending
Manhattan,
and inflation.
the
Minorities and the working
one of the
class
top
were
people
better
from the
off
Justice
in
Department went
2020.
in, ran
Right
Manhattan, ran
before
the state. The
COVID
Letitia
hit, things
James
were
deal was
doing really
run
well. He was
by
really
a
pitching for
person
that.
from the Department
And
of
of course,
Justice. Biden.
COVID
They've never done
threw
this before, and
a
they
wrench
set
in
up
everything.
a very
And
bad
they went back
precedent.
and forth a little bit on
It's
climate change and
called
fossil fuels.
lawfare, warfare.
Yeah.
Fletcher?
It's
Yeah.
it's
No,
a
yeah,
terrible
they did
thing,
touch on
and
a lot of
never
things.
happened in our country. It
We're
does
gonna,
happen in banana republics,
probably
and
talk
third world
about it
countries,
after the
but
thing,
it's
but
never
Yeah.
happened.
yeah, they did
And
cover a
the
complete gambit
incredible
of
thing
things
is it
that usually
actually drove
nobody
my
talks
numbers
about.
up because
I
people
mean,
see,
yeah,
fortunately, I have
solar
a
versus
platform
wind, all
like
kinds of
you,
stuff.
or
Weird.
Yep.
in all fairness, like
No,
a
it's fascinating,
conversation
guys.
like
Okay,
this,
we'll
where I
we'll
can
be
talk
quiet.
about
We
it
know
and
it's
people
hard for you guys to
understand. I
listen
mean,
to both. Be
you
quiet.
fight for
Be
election
quiet for a little while.
integrity, and you end up getting indicted because you're fighting for election integrity. And when the day comes that you can't fight for election integrity, you don't have a country anymore. So what happens? What happens is they went after their political opponent, me. Now Biden's, close to vegetable stage, in my opinion. Okay, I looked at him today on the beach, and I said, why would anybody allow him? The guy could barely walk. Why would anybody allow him? Does he have a political advisor that thinks this looks good? He thinks this looks good because it looks so bad, and it's ridiculous. I mean, and he's been doing that for a long time. He can't lift the chair. The chair weighs about 3 ounces. It's meant for children and old people to lift, and he can't lift it. The whole thing is crazy.
Well, he's clearly not, I mean, he's clearly like, we just don't have a president right
You
now.
don't have a
That's just obviously
president,
the
and
case.
she's going to be worse than him because she is a San Francisco liberal who destroyed San Francisco, and then as Attorney General, she destroyed California. You talk about location, and we're talking about the sun and the water and all. There's nothing better than California. She has destroyed that. She was the original DA. She was the original in San Francisco. She was the original Attorney General in California. What she has done to California is, well, you know better than I do. You just left California for a lot of those reasons. And what she's done with crime, with cashless bail, where you kill somebody. I mean, we have states there you kill somebody and they let you out right away. I mean, you don't have to even put up, and then they never find the people unless they kill again, and then they let them out again. Our country is becoming a very dangerous place. And she is a radical left San Francisco liberal. And now she's trying to protect. Now she's looking like she wants to be more Trump than Trump, if that's possible. I don't think it's possible. But she wants to be more Trump than Trump.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want a wall.
I think that's
funny.
She wants to release all the prisoners that are in detention. And some of these guys are really bad.
Right.
That just came out today. She doesn't want to build the wall, even though the walls work. Walls and wheels. In your business, everything you do is obsolete, almost, well, not the tunnels, but everything is obsolete. Even your rocket ships, they're like a month later, they're obsolete. You find a better way to. The only thing that's not obsolete is a wall and a wheel. And the wall, I built hundreds of miles of wall, and that's why we had such good numbers. I was going to add 200 miles. We bought it. We could have flipped it up in 3 weeks, and they sold it for 5 cents on the dollar. That meant, I said, wow, that means that they actually do want to have open borders. She wants to have open borders, and now she's going like she's tough on the border. It's such a lie.
Yeah, this is simply not true. This is simply not true.
And everybody knows it's not true. It's a disgrace that she can say it.
No, I mean, obviously, what's happening sort of overnight is they're rewriting history and making Kamala sound like a moderate when in fact she is far left, like far left.
Worse than Bernie Sanders. She is considered more liberal by far than Bernie Sanders. She's a radical left lunatic, and if she's going to be our president, very quickly you're not going to have a country anymore. And she'll go back to all of the things that she believes in. She believes in defunding the police. She believes in no fracking, zero. Now all of a sudden she's saying, no, I really want to see fracking. If they got in, the day she got in, she'll end fracking. And by the way, if people didn't think that, the lunatics that really believe in that, they won't vote for her. Like the Palestinians and Israel. She is so anti-Israel, and she's bad for both. Biden actually did something that was impossible. Both sides hate him, both sides. That was a hard thing to do, unification.
Listen,
I mean,
that is the most onslaught that he just went off on Kamala this whole time. Mention her here and there, but he went down the line
and I was there
with a lot of issues.
And Kamala stood him up.
Wow.
What does that say?
I think it's highly disrespectful. And I say, if you're a Jewish person or if you believe in Israel, if you're a person that, is a very pro-Israel, if you vote for her, it's worse than Biden. And Biden was bad. But if you vote for her, you ought to have your head examined. And you see tonight, I mean, as we're doing this, I'm seeing reports coming that they expect an attack tonight or tomorrow from hundreds and maybe thousands of rockets. Their Iron Dome, as they call it, as we all call it, but their shield that they build, that can be swamped. We'll use the term that's appropriate, swamped. But they swamp it. by shooting enough missiles, you know this better than anybody, by shooting enough missiles, they can't defend
I'll remind
themselves.
you guys we're live on
They just
Facebook,
obliterate
X,
the
and
whole place.
YouTube.
And that's what
Please come on over to our YouTube and
they're looking to do.
hit the
And
like
we
and
have
sure
no
you are
leadership.
subscribed.
There's no respect for the United
The
States of
special
America with
edition
these people. And I'm
due
telling you,
to
she'll
this
be worse
historic
than him
event. I
because she's a believer in
personally
being
want to
radical
see
left, and he
Kamala
wasn't.
do this
I
with
think
Elon
you're
Musk.
right. I mean, you really, it's important for the
This is
public
a
that may
must.
be listening to this
You
say,
want to be
look
balanced.
at
You want to be
Kamala's
fair.
track
You have
record,
1.3
before the
million
last
people
month,
listening.
and say,
Kamala, you want the
is that a
same
track record
1.3
you agree
million?
with?
Captivate them.
And I think if you're an independent,
Get on here with Elon.
moderate, you definitely would not agree with it, because it is her behavior has been far left, and we're seeing just an overnight propaganda attempt to rewrite history and make it sound like Kamala's moderate when she in fact is not moderate.
Well, her
I think
running mate approved, signed into legislation, tampons in boys' bathrooms. Okay, now that's all I have to hear. Tampons in boys' bathrooms, and that means she believes in that too. I mean, she picked this guy because he was the closest to her. A lot of people thought she'd pick sort of the opposite, but she picked an anti-Israel radical left person. But she is far worse, they say, than Bernie Sanders. If we have her as a president, if we have a Democrat at this moment as a president, I don't think our country can survive.
If this was a drinking game, if you said radical leftist, how drunk would you be right now?
Yeah, you'd be pretty radical leftist San Francisco, like if you go on your bingo card, you'd be
really it's essential.
That's it. You won. Loteria.
You won for the good of the country for this election, and I mean that's understating my opinion. Now, you know, you may have seen this, but I got a letter from the EU Commission, like saying, to not have disinformation on during this discussion that we're having, and there's a lot of attempts to do censorship and to force censorship even on Americans from other countries, and what do you think about that?
Well, I know the European Union very well. They take great advantage of the United States in trade, as you know. We, through a different forum, NATO, we protect them. And yet, if you build a car in the United States, you can't sell it in Europe. You just can't sell it. It's impossible. The same thing with our farmers. Our farmers find it very difficult to do business. We have a deficit with them of $250 billion, which people don't know. It sounds so nice, the European Union, but let me tell you, they're not as tough as China, but they're bad. And I let them know it. And that's probably why they notified you. No, they don't treat our country well. We defend them, with Ukraine. So we're in for 250 billion, and they're in for about 71 billion, and they have the same size. If you add up the European nations that, in terms of an economy, it's about the same size, wouldn't you say, as us? And they're in, and they're in much greater risk. They're right there. We have an ocean separating us from, in this case, the enemy would be Russia. It used to be for the Soviet Union, but let's assume they're close enough. And what happens is they're in for 70-something million. I think even less than that, billion. And we're in for about 250 billion, and it could be a lot higher than that. And I say, why aren't you going to equalize? Why aren't they paying what we're paying? And they're in much more, it's much more important for them because of the fact that, they're right near there. I mean, they're all sort of in that location. We're not. But they should, and I did it with NATO. There were only 7 countries that were paid up in NATO out of 28 at the time. And the United States the United States was subsidizing NATO, tremendously subsidizing NATO. And I said, I went in and I said, you got to pay up. If you don't pay up, we're not going to defend you any longer. I took a lot of heat, but you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in. And
I think a lot of the public isn't aware of the fact that the United States pays a disproportionate share of the NATO expenses.
And then we get taken advantage of on trade. So think about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the point of NATO is defending Europe, and it's it's like, then okay, well, why is the United States paying disproportionately more to defend Europe than Europe? That doesn't make sense. That's unfair. and that is an appropriate thing to address.
Well, when you talk about cost cutting and savings and everything else, I mean, honestly, look, there's nobody that feels worse about the Ukraine situation than I do, because I know it would have never happened. I know Zelensky. He was very honorable to me, because when they went with the Russia hoax and they said I had a phone call with him, he said it was a perfect phone call. It was a great phone call. He could have grandstanded and, said, oh, he was very threatening. He said, no, it was a very nice phone call. I called him up to congratulate him on his win, and you end up getting impeached because these people are lunatics. Yeah. I was talking about the difference from the people within and the enemies on the outside. In many cases, the people from within are more dangerous for our country than the Russias and the Chinas. If you have a smart president, you're not going to have a problem with them. You're going to do things.
Yeah.
Now, they've taken advantage of
absolutely.
us incredibly, but you're going to do things with the right person.
Yeah, well, I think it's obvious that you're a believer and an advocate of free speech, because during your first term as president, you were attacked relentlessly every day, often very unfairly with false attacks, and you didn't try to shut down the media. You didn't try to inhibit their freedom of speech, and I think that says a lot.
Well, the good thing is that you and I have, and some people, very few, we can get the word out. Although sometimes it's hard because they don't want to print it, like we're having a great conversation right now. Kamala wouldn't have this conversation. She can't, because she's not smart. She's not a smart person, by the way. She can't have this conversation. And Biden, we don't even have to talk about it. I mean, he couldn't have this conversation. He would have given up on the first half of a question. He would have walked out. He would have said, "Where am I? Where am I going?" So anyway, but no, he wouldn't have this.
I can't say I agree
Not
with the Kamala part.
Not a lot of people would have this conversation,
but we'll talk about that.
But, we cover a lot of territory. But the beauty is that we can have a conversation, and I'm able to get it out without, because I get treated unfairly.
This is a really big point. You can actually have a conversation with you.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
And you can't have a conversation with Biden or Kamala. It's like it's not possible. This is like talking to an NPC. No. So it's just impossible.
Well, but think of it. We need a man or person who's unbelievably sharp in order to stop all the nuclear danger and all the dangers that I'm talking about. And I got along with all these. I got along with Kim Jong-un. We had dinner. We had everything. And he really liked me, and I got along with him really well. By the way, he's the absolute boss over there. A lot of people said, "Oh, do you think he really?"
That's for sure.
Let me tell you, I saw things that you don't want to know about. He is the boss. But we had a good relationship, and he doesn't like Biden. He considers him a stupid man. He said he's a stupid man. Well, at least he speaks his mind. But in this country, you're not sort of allowed to say it. But I guess you are. You should be allowed to say it if it's true. But we need smart people, and we need people that have an ability to lead. And she doesn't have that ability. Can you imagine? Now, Chairman Xi very well. Can you imagine her and him negotiating, or even standing together? It is, the whole concept is ridiculous. She is terrible. She's terrible. But she's getting a free ride. I saw a picture of her on Time Magazine today. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great First Lady, Melania. She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe I think part of what people in America want to feel excited and inspired about the future. They want to feel like the future is going to be better than the past, and that America is going to do things that are greater than we've done in the past, reach new heights that make you proud to be an American, and excited about the future.
They want the American dream back. They want the American dream back. More important than anything else. It's like you don't have that today, because the people, they've been just sucked. They see incompetent people running our. The Biden thing is very interesting. People just found him to be incompetent, and when I debated him, I was like, "Is this for real?" It was.
Yeah, it was just absurd. But I think there are some grand projects that we could do. I mean, I think we could build a base on the moon. We could send American astronauts to Mars. We could build high-speed connections that are more advanced than anything else in the world between our cities, so people have fast transport it's possible to solve traffic with tunnels.
Right.
We've already made great progress in Vegas doing that, and and just do things that are exciting and inspiring and make the future feel like it's better than the past.
Well, I saw what you did in Vegas, and I'll tell you, it was amazing. I got to see. I took a big glimpse at it, and it's incredible. It's incredible, and you could do that all over. You could do that all over. It's deep.
Yeah,
you don't even need much structure. Assuming you're in the right area.
No, it's straightforward.
It's amazing.
I think we could do some things that like China's got incredible high-speed rail between its cities, but I think it's actually possible with tunnels if with deregulation, with an ability to actually, where it's like legal to actually do the tunnels. Then you could have high-speed tunnels that are actually better than anything else in the world for high-speed transport between cities, and that would be something that Americans can say, wow, okay, we've got something that's cooler than anyone else in the world. That's the kind of thing that makes you proud to be an American.
And much safer than surface trains, where there is a danger there, with crazy people. Yeah. It's much safer, much better. And it's sad because I've seen some of the greatest trains. I find it fascinating. And I've seen the systems and how they work, and the bullet trains, they call them, I guess. And they go unbelievably fast, unbelievably comfortable, with no problems. And we don't have anything like that in this country, not even close. And it doesn't make sense that we don't. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I think also, like, there's, I'm kind of hopping on the excess regulation, but I think something that I think people can generally understand is that what happens with laws and regulations is that there's more and more of them every year, and unless there's a process to clean them up, eventually everything becomes illegal, and that actually it slows down the development of new technologies. I mean, if you take the sort of, like, I think there's room for some reform at the FDA for improving the speed with which we approve drugs that could help save lives and improve people's lives. And
I worked very hard on that. We got that down to the lowest number ever, and we got therapeutics approved in the FDA that people can't even believe the speed. But I took them on. I don't think they like me too much, but I got things approved in the FDA at numbers that they wouldn't believe. And it's a very bureaucratic group. Actually, it's a fine group of people in many cases. I got to know a lot of them, but I was pushing them really hard for Regeneron, for so many different things that were really pretty amazing. But the FDA takes too long. It's 12 years to get a product approved. I got it down to 4, and I got some things done very quickly. But it's really something that is going to have to be worked on because it takes too long. Just takes too long.
Yeah, it just takes too long, and it's you end up in the same with the approval, but it just it takes years instead of something that I think could potentially take months. That improves people's lives. I think I just wanted to hop on this point that, like, there has to be an active process for reducing rules and regulations, because otherwise they just keep building up every year, and you get like hardening of the arteries, and eventually everything's illegal or takes forever, and then we just ossify as a society. We can't make any progress, and it's a really big deal.
Elon, just getting back to the FDA for 1 second, I got something done called Right to Try. This is where you can go in, and if you're terminally ill, you can use a space age, medicine or whatever it may be. We have the best doctors, the best labs in the world. We really do. But people would go to other countries because you couldn't use the product, even if they thought it worked, because it's going through the FDA. I got it approved where you can, you basically, look, nobody wanted, the doctors didn't want it because of the liability. The country didn't want it, our country, because they didn't want to get sued. These are people terminally ill. The insurance companies didn't want it, and the pharmaceutical companies, nobody wanted it. I got everybody into a room, and we came up with an agreement that you won't get sued. And also, they didn't want it on their record. If somebody's terminally ill and they die after taking a drug, they didn't want that on their record. So we set a separate list if somebody was, so it wouldn't count as a negative. Okay. And as you know, we got it done. We have saved Right to Try. They've been trying to get this done for 58 years, and it sounds simple, but it wasn't, because I mean, the insurance companies, nobody wanted it, but we got it done.
Sure.
Somebody you signed a document that you're not going to sue the insurance companies, the country, you're not going to sue anybody. And we got it done. And we're saving tens of thousands of lives. Right to try. Hopefully you never need it. But if you do, you don't have to travel to Asia. People, if they had money, they go to Asia, they go to Europe. If they don't have money, they go home and die. That's what happened. They'd go home and die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and actually, to give Europe some props here, it's like if a drug is approved in Europe, which has a crazy amount of regulations, it should obviously be approved in the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, they get more regulations than we do. So why would a drug be approved in Europe and not in the U.S.? That's crazy.
Well, we did it. We did something that really they've been trying to do it for 50 years, and they just couldn't get it done, and I got it done, and it's really something. But you're right. Some people go to Europe because a drug isn't approved here, but it's approved in Europe, and it's a drug that, generally speaking, would work. It's pretty crazy.
Absolutely,
you're right.
And I think so, as long as people are properly informed of the pros and cons, and like these are the risks, this is the risk, and like you make your own decision. Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I think just in sort of closing up, and by the way, I'm looking at the numbers. You got a lot of people listening. I hope you don't get nervous, because you got a lot of people listening to you right now, like 60 million or something. What is that number? It's crazy. It's amazing how you can see that right away. What is the number? Wow. What is it?
Okay, really fast. We're here on the Latino Slant Special live show.
Well, wow. I think in terms of people,
that's bigger than you said.
Letting Trump and Musk
you said
wrap it up.
And you're much more than double that number. 25 million. I think you're going to be 60.
Sounds like they keep going there, Fletcher. What do you think, real fast?
Hey,
they said they were going to wrap up.
Do I get paid for this or not?
Well, I think actually in terms of the number of people that will hear this conversation over the next few days to weeks. It's going to be hundreds.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's good. Well, look, it's an honor. I just asked this: are you better off now, or were you better off when I was president? Nobody's better off now. People, we put out polls on that, and nobody's better off now. Inflation has killed it, and they also feel very unsafe. You look at what's going on with a lot of different things. You look at the riots we had at the colleges over, it's ridiculous, but all of the riots, they just feel unsafe. And now they really feel unsafe because you have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. Maybe I'll call it Kamala migrant crime. But
with all these things, I always try to get to the ground truth by just asking people. And my mom lives in New York, and I was like, Mom, have any of your friends been attacked or assaulted? And she said, yeah, 3 of her friends in 3 separate incidents were assaulted just in recent months, just walking around the streets in New York. And I said, well, what happened to the people that assaulted them? Oh, nothing. They got away. Like, and they just know
they always get away.
Nothing's gonna, and they don't even bother reporting it because they know that they're not going to, people are not going to get prosecuted. They just let violent criminals out in New York.
The only one that gets prosecuted is Donald Trump. They prosecute Trump.
Yeah, it's just obviously messed up.
Oh, it's terrible.
If violent criminals are being getting off scot-free, and meanwhile the New York spending massive resources prosecuting you, and it's like, what's this? And I think the sort of sensible public looks at this and says, what the heck's going on here? This is obviously abuse of the legal system. The legal system is supposed to be protecting the public from violent criminals, and it should be obviously allowing the public to make their own decision about who should be president, as opposed to some legal case.
Once they start this precedent, because this can go on with the next one. This is a very bad precedent what they're doing in terms of going after their political opponent, and that's all it is. It's going after their political opponent. And then you get a judge who's, a strong Democrat, and I'm being nice when I say that, in many cases crooked as hell. But you get a judge, and you go into an area where a Republican gets 3 or 4% of the vote, and you'll have a jury pool with people that hate Republicans or hate. It could also be the other way, though, because it could start the other way in areas where they hate Democrats, and you get into a Pandora's box. It's a very dangerous thing for this country, and a very dangerous thing even for the state. New York City is losing. New York City and state lose a lot of business over what they did to me, because these people say, we don't want that to happen to us. That's no justice system. You have an unfair system of justice, and it's costing New York State a tremendous amount of money. People are leaving and companies are leaving, and they won't come back. So, all of that stuff is important. But the economy now is the big thing, and we can turn that economy up so fast, and people are going to be back again. We're going to get rid of inflation.
I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
and I just want to congratulate you. You've done an amazing job. You have definitely got a fertile mind. We can talk. You and I can talk about rockets.
Well, it's kind of you to say. Thank you.
Tunnels. We can talk about tunnels and rockets and electric cars. So many things. And now you're into the AI, and that's going to be another beauty, I'll say. So it's it's an amazing thing you've done, Elon. It's an amazing thing, and I congratulate you.
I mean, thank you. And I just say here, here's to an exciting, inspiring future that people can look forward to and be optimistic and excited about what happens next. And that's the kind of future that I think you will bring as president, and that's why I endorse you.
Well, I appreciate that. That endorsement meant a lot to me. Not all endorsements mean that much, to be honest. Your endorsement meant a lot. And, we have a phrase, make America great again. It's pretty simple, but it really says that we want to make America great again. And we can do it. We can do it now. But if we were going to suffer another 4 years like we've suffered for the last 4 years, I'm not sure the country can ever come back. That's how bad it is. It's so bad. We have to do a lot of things.
I think that's a very real risk.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
It's a very real risk.
Yeah.
And it's, I'd just like to note.
Okay, we're going to cut away. It sounds like they're just wrapping up, and we'll do a 2-minute countdown.
I've actually been.
Then we'll get to our topics. First one is Fletcher's response to this and what he heard. Sounds good, everybody?
And I actually.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, yo. It's Rant. It's Rant. All right, Paulie, let's go.
All right, thanks for being here. We've got about a minute and 20 seconds.
That's better.
Paulie, the Latino Slant. Fletcher, Monday nights, every night. Fridays now, every afternoon. This is our pop night. We have, we have Ziegler, we have Barrera, we have Alien Romulus. A lot of items to get to. Got another minute. Be right back. Make sure you guys are subscribed. 88 right now. Collectively. Gracias. I'm going to say it right now. I'll take on that Australian breakdancer any day. Ho!
Five, 4, 3, 1.
All right, thank you guys for everybody. I realized I was muted myself. I hope everyone is doing well. You had an extended beginning with the Trump-Musk conversation. We got a lot of you out there in the chat. And before we start getting to our pop culture items, I want to hear from Fletcher and his thoughts on what he heard. So yeah, take it away, my friend.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty riveting. Conversation. It seemed like a pretty chill conversation. It wasn't like nothing crazy. Just President Trump being President Trump. We got a lot of family from New York, and that's how New Yorkers talk. They're grandiose. They're larger than life type deal. And I thought he did very well. And it would be a welcome thing maybe if Elon would have Vice President Harris on. Will she? Will she not? That's something for another day. But I thought it went well. I think even with the cyber attack and everybody kind of waiting and giving up and waiting and giving up, but I think it was a pretty successful talk. I think a lot of people saw a different side of the president today.
That's the biggest takeaway, is that you got to see, especially as they went along in their conversation, you got to see a conversation between two very, successful, world leaders in their fields. Whether you like them or not, whether you agree with them, that's not really the point. Is you got to catch some insight into how these two men converse, and to me that was just riveting. And I got to see a different side of Trump, and Trump being Trump. But what was interesting is that in the media the last 2 weeks, you think that the Trump campaign and all that stuff is like in complete disarray from what they're telling you, and that he's done. I heard some interesting on Breaking Points today, some interesting advice from one of their guys, was that Trump and the Trump campaign now have to think like they're the underdogs again. It's 2016, because you literally have a media machine behind this candidate. Except for X, right? That they gotta really kind of retool some things and keep appealing to the swing voter, to the independent voter. And I really, that advice really hit it for me. I think this helps that. This stopped everything that you had, the rallies, the AI, is it real, is it fake? You had all that goofiness going on, and all her, and then which I didn't really find appealing to me, that was coming from Trump's camp. It's like, dude, you run on your record, and then run her against her own record. That's how you're gonna appeal to us independents. So something like this is totally appealing to independents. I gotta tell you, man. And it stopped let me tell you, every media person, every outlet, every podcaster on both sides, they were tuned in, and they will be tuned in for the next day or two. This is the news cycle. He won the news cycle for the next 24 or 48 hours, no matter what Harris and them respond with, because it's going to be the same, their own, their side of things, and yeah, I mean, he was in depth, he was relaxed, and it just goes to show you that's how you're gonna win people over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think?
No, I do think it was a good introduction to former President Trump, if whoever didn't have an introductions to him. Mm-hmm. And also the machine's already kind of working, because even when we were listening, I was looking at top news sources from all around talking about it, and they led with not how many people were on, how historic this was. The main thing that was on is like, oh, disaster. It starts like, it's all the tech goes down, it's off to a disaster start.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I thought it was funny. and then like silence, nothing to refresh that or anything. It was just like that's the way it started a disaster. That's how they're probably going to run with it.
They would love to have those numbers that Musk and Trump just generated. Are you kidding me? They're jealous.
Yeah. Oh, it's insane.
It's insane that those numbers. Whether I mean, that's it's a circus. It's pure entertainment. It's the greatest show on earth, and he's a great showman. I will say this, and I've been watching this. I will say Harris has become a really good on her rallies. Mm-hmm. She's clear, she's concise, she's likable, which I would never say before. And that, which is okay. So that's my tip of the hat to her campaign and staying on focus. But how much of that is going to be sustained when she starts doing real interviews, and then when she does the debate with Trump? Because listen, the Democrats are going to they have found someone to rally behind. That's why there was no enthusiasm before. You went from the worst low bar of Biden to now a high bar for them. But outside looking in, she's been doing pretty good. Now, I'm not talking about whether I agree with her stances or not, but as far as on the rallies and as far as her commercials, it's like, she's a very skilled person. That's why I'm pushing back on Trump calling her, or anyone calling her, an idiot. I would not. That is, you can't do that with your opponent. Yeah, you actually have to give them that. Let's say you're right. Let's say she is. You still gotta win this election, because people are rallying behind her. So I would not take her for granted. A lot of people that she has worked with in the past have called her the most skillful person they have come across is Kamala, and you got to look out for that, Fletcher. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I did see that she's pushing on a lot of different areas now. You see a lot more variation in her ads, depending on who they're targeted to. That's the joke with the chameleon type, because whatever ethnicity she pushes it to, that it changes the message a little bit, which could be a strategic thing.
Right, we're talking about code switching.
Yeah,
and we got comments on our political videos on that, because as Latinos, we know all about code switching. But go on, I want to talk about that for a second. Go on.
So you do get a lot of people that are, I've been talking to, that are a little bit turned off by that. So like the, should we say, independent side of the vote, they're really at least on my side of the thing, where it's like I did see some people that are more non-Latinos, non-blacks, non-Asians, that are solidly for her. But I think those people, no matter what, they're going to be for her. But at least on our side, it does seems to be like some people are getting turned off a little bit by that chameleon lens type of deal.
This was her downfall in the 2020 primaries. That's why she didn't win her. She couldn't even win her own state in the primaries, and she bowed out. Is because she was a waffler. Mm-hmm. So this is starting to come out a little bit. It's like, wait a minute, what is your stance on immigration at the border? Is it Kamala the cop, or Kamala what's the other word? What's the other? Kamala the cop, Kamala the What's the other thing I'm looking for?
Let my people go.
Well, if you're not a prosecutor, you're like a
defender, public defender,
a defender, like a social justice warrior for them, right? And depending on what commercial you listen to or what speech you're hearing lately and sound bites, that's what you gotta hone in on, and that's what Trump honed in on. It's like, wait a minute, what's your stance? Wait, what?
Right.
And the language is verbatim, basically, of what Trump has been doing and wants to do with the border, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Well,
it depends who she talks to. I mean, she just talked to somebody. I think when she was in Vegas or something for something, she said that, no, we're going to close down all the immigration centers or stuff like that. So it's like, well,
right.
In the speech somewhere else, it was like, no, we're going to close down the border. It's like,
my prima in Arizona is here. What's the buzz there in Arizona? Prima, according, just your vibes, just as you talking to people, because there was a huge rally in Arizona, huge. Are they fully, is it fully into Harris, or is it too much hype, or are people just turned off? So that'd be kind of interesting to hear. And then she went on record saying she's going to hire like so many more border patrol people.
Right.
That's basically basically out of Trump's.
Yeah.
So that's very strange, man.
Yeah.
That's very strange. So that is something that a reputable interview, whether it's CNN or definitely Fox, or they're going to ask about, hey, what's your stance on this? And, we're going to we'll put this link in when we get to it. If you're watching this on the replay, you're going to get the link, guys. If you're with us live, check back with me. A year ago, it's coming up on a year. What's her name? Hinojosa with Latino USA, PBS, right? The liberal, bastion of public, media, that whole thing. NPR, PBS. She's got the show Latino USA. It's been around for decades, right? I gotta give her all props. She'd been working on 2 years to get an interview with Kamala. Finally happened. They went on a tour with her, and this was last fall. On going to certain programs. I think one was at Morehouse, one was in Texas, and at one point, she asked Kamala, "Are you going to apologize for saying do not come?"
Mm-hmm.
And boy, she shuffled to the left, she shuffled to the right, didn't give that answer. Did the politician thing. And then Hosa was like, well, should we be blaming Biden?
Right.
But it was a very uncomfortable moment for Harris. And that is with PBS, dude.
Right. That's her clan.
And this is an older, very loving Latina, reporter, the whole thing. So she was coming very lovingly.
Yeah.
Harris did not like that.
Wow.
Right. I'm going to get that, guys, for you. And, because it's important that this, that there is pushback on that. She said those things. Do not come. Is that your policy?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think the more this gets out, right, the more it's just going to be a dogfight. You got a couple of months. This is the unfortunate part of being the underdog now, is that you have very little time to really vet and get more information out on both people. I think at this point, a lot of people know who Trump is,
right,
in his past, good and bad. With Harris, it's like, well, you didn't survive your own the Democratic primaries in the 2020s. And what's been your record? What have you done in the last 3.5 years? There's what we're now what September. We're 3 months away. We are now less than 3 months away to election day. That's crazy. That's crazy, Fletcher.
No, it's insane because you're basically saying what I think, but that's her running. Seems to be her running stance is not say anything. Just let the mass media, control the narrative. That which is basically what she's been doing. I mean, there's jokes on Twitter left and right because Trump came out with like his 20 stances on certain things, and people are like going, "Oh, Kamala Harris finally brings out her stance and things," and it's copied and pasted, the exact thing Trump did.
Right.
It's just like it's just you're mocking it because people go to the side and it's like, well, what are you running on? They go to the side. There's nothing there, so you're like, well, you can't criticize her on nothing because she's created everything that's good. She blames everything that's bad on somebody else. So, it's almost like she was never there for those, for those years. So it's like you had, 3+ years, but you nothing sticks on you. It's like, all right. So it's kind of weird because she's almost running like she's just getting into this, like she's just gonna get into the race from out of nowhere, not that she's been in power.
Okay, guys, we're gonna finish up this political part. Went a little long on this, but that's okay. We're gonna finish up by reading your comments, and we are live on X. We're doing really awesome things on X, with now over 82 views over there, and altogether 104 live in the chat with us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah. Don't forget that one. Oh, and we lost Paulie. Oh no, it's a cyber attack. And he's back. Where is he? There he is.
I just canceled myself.
That's it. Canceled.
I just canceled myself. Okay, here we go. Borgu says, Paulie, you should be in the Olympics for breakdance.
Yes.
I mean, what? I said a hip hop, a hip to the hibbity hip hop rhythm. You don't stop with the bang bang boogie. Oh man, come on now. that
yeah, you can't play it though. You can't play it. You get dinged.
It's what's so funny is that I didn't even know breaking was an Olympic sport this time around, and the one thing that I see was the Australian lady.
Yeah. Well, she's got a PhD. She did this for her dissertation.
That is incredible.
She had them paid for this whole thing,
and she got 0. She got 0 points.
0
right?
points.
Did you see it?
Like, what are you doing? People thought maybe she had a seizure. I don't know. Yes.
But so you saw it. So when she got the 0 points, what was her reaction?
Right. She was like, whatever. It doesn't matter because she was there representing.
Representative of what? Aussie hip hop?
She got paid. She has a PhD on this. She teaches this in college. She teaches breakdancing and like social science.
I mean,
how social science can.
If that is not cultural appropriation, definitive definition. I don't know what the definitive example of cultural appropriation gone bad. It's this Australian lady getting a PhD in breakdancing and going to the Olympics.
I don't think you understand, Paul. She's an ally. How dare you? She's an ally to the Browns.
Oh my God. Julissa is a member of the channel. Memberships are available right now, starting at $2.99 a month. $2.99.
Do it.
And there's a merchandise discount going on right now that we put the announcements off because we have new t-shirts up on our merchandise page. You get a 20% discount. You got to be a soldado or higher. Julissa says it would have been better if we got video.
Yeah.
Oh, of the conversation?
Of the conversation, yeah.
Julissa, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to disagree a little bit because it's a different it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a different discipline. It's a different media form, art form. It's a different art form, right? Podcasting, audio. I thought it was fascinating because they're not worried about their looks. They're not distracted. They're not, you know, whether it's Kamala or whoever, or even Elon. It's just talking. You know, like when I talk like this, would it be better if I was on video? I just want to relax and talk. Sometimes I do this on my videos. Here are the top 5 Latinas that you need to check out coming out of Hollywood here in the year 2024. So I don't know. I liked it, Fletcher, and I liked it, Julissa. Bumpy Johnson, point me to the person that knows Kamala Harris. I'll show you someone that dislikes her. To know her, to know her is to dislike like her. You like that? Hey, you know, the only thing messing with these great comments is like, you know, like dollar signs next to them. Dollar signs next to them, because I'm giving you high level entertainment. So consider super chat right now. Borgu. That's awesome. You see the avatar?
No, I did, yeah.
Look at her. It's Borgu. Oh, yeah. I think that America needs to get away from this two-party system. We definitely need a third party. If we don't get a third party, the same old song and dance is going to continue, and we lose out. I agree. We might have a third-party candidate on our political show coming up in the next couple of weeks. No stop, no lie, full stop. Because there are other parties. The Green Party. There's a bunch, yeah. There's a bunch. Libertarian, Green Party, Socialist Party, Communist Party, Independent. You know, so, but I won't be bringing on the communist candidate. No. But I am talking to someone. It's kind of interesting. They reached out. Sanda Hamaslag. Sanda, I'm afraid of one thing, though, that this was all Team Harris's plan from the start in order to get Trump to agree to doing a debate under their terms. And afraid ABC doing everything to sink Trump. Okay, if I entertain this, then I can say they've been planning this like for the last 2 years. How can we take down Trump? Right? So, I mean, obviously you can smear his name, you can call him this and that. That doesn't work. And now you took him to court. You didn't get what you wanted. He's got the convictions. It still doesn't work. It's made him more popular than ever. You shot at the man. Not saying that. Not saying anything. That didn't work. And then you switched up candidates.
That's the weirdest thing ever, though.
Julissa. Kamala's definitely getting the vote from young female college students. I heard a lot of conversations this past weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. Yeah.
I just don't know how big a vote that it's going to be at the end of the day, you know.
Or even if they show up, you know.
Right. Conversation's one thing, and this is like on either side, right? Julissa, any side. Conversation, heated, passionate discussion, debate. Are all these people registered to vote, and do they go and vote? That's what I want to know.
Right.
The Prima has checked in from AZ. We're Democrats because that's what we always been told, is that you always vote Democrat. Now, I don't know if I want to vote Democrat because I don't like either running candidates. Oh, Prima. That is a big goat. That is, we gotta do something for that one. Here we go.
She's freaking Rant.
Does got anything to say about
that?
No
matter who.
Yeah. Oh, she further said, I don't know what my family really knows what Kamala stands for. That's funny.
It's funny. Yeah. Nobody does.
I need to call some of the primos.
Yeah.
See what's up.
See if anybody knows. I mean,
yeah. See if anyone does.
Everyone who knows.
Yeah. Bonzo, Jill Stein coming on?
You can't say. Top secreto.
That would be a dope party. Yeah, that's the party I want. BT Diaz, dope party. We're the dope party, Julissa, yes. Oh, the Vatos Locos party.
I hear that forever.
We need the Vatos Locos party.
The low rider is a little higher.
Once you're there, you're forever there. That's it. That's the original vote. Vote blue no matter who, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like por vida.
Yeah,
right?
That's
it's
it.
You know,
get out, they take you out. It's kind of like old school Argentina. You don't vote for the party, you go missing.
Whoa, that's a lot right there. Old school Argentina. How's everyone doing in the chat? We're live on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed. Consider subscribing, and we're having a lot of fun on this Monday night. Okay, can we move on now?
Move on.
So it's only been an hour.
I did have a picture of the break dancer.
Okay, let's see it.
So let's see. So I don't know how that compares to your moves. If you guys check out Paulie's moves and anything, but I don't know. This one kind of slams. I don't know if you see.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, so. Buddy. Wait. Okay. All right. I know this is, and I've been seeing these memes around. What I can't figure out is, are those people sitting behind her?
Those are the judges.
Those were real judges?
Those are real judges. This is a real competition, and she was a real, competitor. She was an official competitor for Australia. And they're actually going after people who talk trash about her.
What?
Yeah,
who's going after who?
They're just people on social media are all like mocking her, and it's like, what did she expect? She went on there and did this.
Who's going after who? They can't. They'd like to see them try it. Shoot. Don't they know who we are, Issy?
You know I'm loco. Who you trying to get crazy, kangaroo?
Yeah. Who you trying to get? I mean, that is so funny.
That's just this. Yeah. The funny thing is too, homegirl world, I mean, if you notice, they're like some like sensible kicks on that one too. Those Skechers, no shade.
So she okay. All right. Let's be nice for a second, right? She obviously has a love for hip hop culture, for dancing. You can't knock that.
She did this. Does she really? I don't know.
Come on, man. Come on.
I went bumpy on that one. Kangaroo Boogaloo
breaking three. Kangaroo Boogaloo. Kangle hats.
Yeah, see, that means they're official breakdance.
That means
judges, Julissa. If they have a Kango hat, that's it. That's official. You're officially a judge if you wear a Kango. There you go.
I'm a judge.
That's it. There you go. He's straight up Lowrider magazine. That's it. What? You can't get more original. That's it. Yeah.
That's me judging. That's just me judging.
That's your judging in. You know what? We should have emojis
with the mustache
of you judging, thumbs up judging and thumbs up judging.
Yeah, with the mustache.
That's right.
Lordy,
that's it.
But I do love this hat. It's easy to kind of mess around with. There we go.
That's how you do it.
Thank you, Julissa.
Thank you.
And thank you, we need low riding. Someone brought that up. We need low riding in the Olympics, dog.
They're not. Yeah, come on. If that's the case, then Australia. Imagine what Australia brings. It's like a rickshaw.
But hear me out though.
Right.
You'd have countries. First of all, legit countries involved. Okay, the U.S., Mexico, Japan, Vietnam, China. They're all into the Chicago.
We don't want to do this because I guarantee you, Vietnam and Japan will probably beat us.
And then they beat us. Yes.
Yeah,
and then
they can't get.
Oh my
Have
god.
you seen those trucks in Indonesia? They got forget it.
Stop.
You'd be like,
Stop.
man, that's my stuff. How do we lose?
Oh my god.
But then
okay,
again,
we're gonna go to let's go to our first pop item of the night. Hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. So I saw this the other day, a couple of nights ago, and to the dismay of Tom with Midnight's Edge, this idea, just that this rumor getting out there, he was so upset. It's been heavily rumored that Spyglass and Melissa Barrera have reached an agreement that would see her return for Scream 7, and her salary will donate. We'll donate it, and her salary will donate to an aid organization per her request. Okay, guys, if you guys don't know a BS rumor, this is it. But let's entertain the idea, okay? Let's just entertain it for a second. All right, Fletcher. Could this happen?
Enough money, Look at Robert Downey Jr. They said that couldn't happen.
But this company libeled her, defamed her with a press release, calling her anti-Semitic. I mean, it was pretty rough what they did to her, and they Gina Carano'd her.
And they're still talking about Gina Carano maybe coming back now. So,
but that's been a. So why would they do this? Why would they do this? I have an answer, and Tom of Midnight's Edge is 100% wrong on this. He's way too emotional and too clinging to the past, like he always does, clinging to nostalgia. I want to know though, why would this happen? Why would this idea be entertained? Fletcher Williams, what say you?
I think the only reason they would entertain this idea is because they know that it would bring more butts in the seats, and more butts in the seats means more money. And also, if they get any backlash from this, they can, hide behind her. Like
wait a minute, did you say blacklash?
Blacklash. Well, this would be brown.
Yeah. Get your
brownlash. Yeah, let me get the. Yeah,
get your people of color.
Peoples of color, my fellow peoples of my peoples.
My peoples.
POCs.
My peoples.
I hate that. I hate that like nothing
Number
else.
one in America.
Peoples of color. Yeah. I think if something goes wrong, they can say, well, it's because of her. And so it's almost like a meat shield thing.
Mm-hmm.
They can put her up front and said if anything happens to the movie, if it does well, hey, we're geniuses. Look what we did. We're so awesome. If it does poorly, boom, put her out there. This is her fault. Give us money. Without her, we'll make another one. I mean, there's no lose on this one.
So the rumors were quickly refuted by questionable, people in the know in Hollywood. So I don't know what to believe. I think this is poorly written, but crazier stuff has happened. And there were stories of Neve Campbell trying to bring the people together.
Mm-hmm.
Spyglass and Melissa. Why it would benefit Spyglass is the last two films of Scream, whether you like them or not, brought in a completely new audience that they had never had before. And they will probably lose it because not one, but two of the young actors are out of it. Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Right? So it would behoove them to look at the numbers and actually see that domestically, the last Scream movie without Neve Campbell was the biggest moneymaker in the Scream franchise. They're like, we need that. Okay, and a couple things have transpired since then. This is an ongoing circus. Honestly, guys, telenovela. You should do that. Your telenovela bits that you do, Fletcher. Just pure brilliance. Two things have happened, Fletcher. Jen Ortega's recent Vanity Fair huge article where she all but backs up Barrera is a big shot in the arm for Melissa. Big shot in the arm. That is a big... She didn't have to do any of it. She didn't have to say anything, Jenna. That is huge. That also says she's going to want to work with Melissa again in the future. That's loyalty. You don't see that a lot. Let me add 3. Okay, I said 2. Let me add 3. Okay. All right. Number 2, even though Abigail did not do well, it is irrefutable. What's irrefutable is Melissa's talent. People really like her. She's got the Queen of Horror thing down. And now your monster is coming out for Halloween, which is like this big kind of like, genre mixture of horror, comedy, and musical songs. That's right up Melissa's alley. She was a singer out of Mexico. And finally, that wraps up into my number 3 reason is that Melissa's fan base has never been brighter. It's huge now. She's more popular than ever. She's endeared to her fans because of her loyalty and her stance, and she's not a flip-flopper. And that's really why I would think any of this might be true, Fletcher.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, with enough money tossed around and the right people getting involved, maybe she wants creative, a little bit creative freedom. She had when she did some stuff in Mexico. She asked for that in certain projects that she did. So imagine if she was given a little bit more creative freedom or bringing in some of her team. I mean, who knows? What can happen? This is a rumor. It's it's not verified yet, but
no.
Yeah, what say you guys? I mean, do you guys think that this could be something that could happen?
Yeah.
Let us know. What would you do?
What say you? Doesn't Barrera's husband have money? Does she need the money? I think he's a successful musician, right?
Yeah. He comes from a well-off family.
Yeah.
So money's not the thing.
Well, I don't think... here's the thing, Bonso. Most Mexican actors or Latin American actors actually come here to try to make it in Hollywood. They all come from money.
Right.
That's just how it is. They come and they have a huge machine behind them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Julissa, I'd be surprised if Melissa agreed. never be, when it comes to Hollywood, never be surprised, man.
It's one thing that doesn't surprise. Politics in Hollywood, one of the two things there.
Because look, anything can happen. Bumpy, right. Will Scream ever end? Seems like the perfect franchise to just endlessly run with numbered sequels. I'm expecting Scream 25 within the next 40 years.
Yeah, I mean it's designed for that, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
it's a good design for that.
Design. Yeah.
Yep, it's a good design for that.
Yeah. And the theme park stuff is really pushing it. I think, they have a lot of productions and stuff.
Another good point.
They get a lot of support from that. People still buy the mask.
People still buy the mask. Something else we want you to maybe buy and consider is becoming a member of the channel. Okay, in lieu of a super chat or whatever, consider the $2.99, the $4.99, all tons of perks that you guys get, from merchandise discounts to shout outs to one-on-ones to special swag merchandise. Swag. Right now we're giving away the Twisters ball cap to a general level member, Mexican Iron Man, and he's going to give it to his son.
That's awesome. And that's not something you can get anywhere, guys. It's not something you can buy. It's only only for people who went to the screener, and Paulie goes to these a lot.
Right. And so That'd be fantastic. Or consider, if you are a member right now, consider giving away one right now as we're live as a gift membership. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So thank you guys for being here. Over 119 people live in the chats combined, and I really appreciate that, guys. We want to go to another. Ooh.
Man, that was wild.
Well, D23 happened this past weekend, and I'm sure you've seen all kinds of nerds out there nerding out and doing videos from Nerdlandia and D23. Check out, speaking of nerds there, check out Film Threat. They're all over. Their coverage was pretty amazing. And no, I'm not a nerd because I watched it. But anyways, maybe I'm a
nerd.
We're going to cover two things tonight, right? With this D23 stuff. We're going to cover Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Snow White. How does that sound, Fletch?
Cool.
Okay. You did a video. Tell us about this video.
All right. So what happened is that there was a lot of people who captured the Mandalorian trailer that they showed. And it was a little bit all over the place. So what I would try to do is I went to different people who captured it and basically kind of spliced it together to, I think, is the whole trailer without, people's heads and things like that. You do hear a little bit of the audience. I wanted to capture that because that actually makes it better. But it's kind of like spliced together, and I got a little bit closer because a lot of the videos were a little bit from far away. So excuse the graininess. This is from cell phone footage from the D23 because for some reason they haven't released this, which was funny because they released all the other trailers. So I don't know what happened here.
Let me ask you so the Mando has not been released officially.
Correct. I haven't seen if you go to Star Wars right now, the only thing that shows up is the Skeleton Crew trailer and all stuff about the Skeleton Crew. That was one trailer that was released by them. Disney released a lot of, including the Snow White trailer, the official one, nice, pretty, is out there. But this one is not. I don't know if it's just not because if you see it, once you see it, Paulie, I don't know if you want to talk about it afterwards or before, but when you see it, you'll see a few scenes that were already that you will recognize.
Okay. All right. So we are going to look at this and do a little reacting. And there's another member in the chat. Let's say hello to our member first, Jaime G. What's up, brother? Saludos. Thanks for joining us on this Monday evening. Yeah. I love having our members in the chat with us. Julissa, Jaime, Sander, ¿qué más? Fletcher,
Pete the cat was there and stuff.
Oh, Pete was here. That's right.
Yeah, Pete's here. He's just he's not sleeping. So,
yeah, it's like 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah, it's really late. It's really late, and we've been
Well, we really appreciate that. Oh wait, what was okay? Okay, so let's react to this. All right, we got the volume. Here we go.
You are a clan of two. You are as its father.
This youngling is my apprentice. I'm a bounty hunter by trade. Now that he's with me,
this is all old footage.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure we're watching the right thing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So they're just reminding everybody. Okay.
Be more selective in my assignments. Good luck.
Oh, this is all new. Okay.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
What is that, an RT?
Yeah.
Are they on top of it? Oh! I like that. I like that. Oh, Babu Frick. Wow. Okay. Talk to us, Fletch.
So basically, from there, like you already kind of figured it out, that a lot of the footage was reused from a lot of the seasons of the Mandalorian, season 1, season 2. That's new.
That's the first new image.
Right.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first new. That one. Yeah, that one's new too. So basically, they did post. So basically, half the trailer, more than half, it's new stuff.
Okay. And the first half was like reminding people,
right?
It's all about Mando and Gor.
Yeah.
Right.
Almost like if you didn't see it, or if you only saw the first season of Mando, that it kind of reminds you of it. Or if you want to take the pessimist side, you could say that they're just putting it together quickly for this event, and that's what they kind of smuggled together. But if you see some of these scenes, they look pretty well put together already, so it's not like they're rushed.
So timeline wise, these people would be the New Order, correct?
Right.
The beginnings of the New Order. Okay.
Right.
I think it looks cool. It's a throwback look and feel to Hoth, as far as but people are saying it's not Hoth. It's probably something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, it still looks and feels great. And okay, next image. Going through a corridor. Got it.
Yeah.
He's being a little sneaky peeky.
Yeah. So he's a spy.
Yeah, a little spy. Yeah, a little sneaky peeky.
Which is brilliant the way to use them, Yeah,
it really is. It really is. I mean, and that's Jon Favreau. That's right. Favreau.
Yeah.
Thank God we have Favreau there at least. And what is?
So that's like the little hallway scene where they use kind of like a remote control. They gotta be selling that.
That's
toys.
That's a toy right there. That's a Tonka. That's a Tonka truck.
Right.
Oh, that's a POV of the Tonka truck.
Oh, of the truck. So this is merchandise right there. That's gotta be. We're selling a bunch of these.
And you just see now before we get to this, and then you just see him kicking some butt, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love Din Djarin, kicking butt?
Right.
That's they want him to be more butt kicking. Now that
was super cool, and to hear the reaction, right?
This I gotta say is let's watch again. So if he's doing that kind of like reckless move, he's being chased,
right?
Wow.
And then boom. You can hear the crowd, you can hear the crowd.
Wow. Well, because the film work is that you don't know what's going on. It's kids, and like you look up.
Right.
Oh, well, you're like, oh crap, we're in trouble. Nice shot there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get cuter than that.
Right.
I know some people are gonna hate the fact that it's Babu Frick and the connection to Disney Star Wars films. You guys just gotta roll with it. It's done. It's done.
Yeah. So.
All right. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking there, Fletcher?
I think they did a fine job, just boosting it up at the end, that it does make it feel like, oh my gosh, this could be something. And it does tug at those nostalgia strings, but at the same time it does give you things that are popular now, which the kids, which is that Grogu and other animated characters. It's great to see aliens, of course. And I do think that I think it was. I think Star Wars Theory was talking about it, and he, a lot of people are talking about this being the segue because we're gonna get an Ahsoka too. So this being kind of like a segue towards kind of like a Star Wars Avengers, tie-in with other things. We have the Witches of Varamir. We had Ahsoka coming in, Tron. So definitely a lot of people are talking about Luke, Han, and Leia coming in again. Like they did at the that season of the Mandalorian at the end. Probably de-aged, and or recast. So I think it could set up something like that, and it definitely, if it's done well, it could bring a lot of people back.
Well, I feel that if there's going to be any chance coming out of hell, Star Wars Disney hell, this would be it. And Favreau could, deliver us a very entertaining, family-friendly, great Star Wars movie in the theaters. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm in, man. I'm in.
Yeah,
okay.
It brought a lot of people back in excitement, that's the thing I don't understand. But if you got your reaction, I got my reaction, both are, pretty positive. Why not this?
Before we, just so you guys know, we will be going from a positive to a negative any minute now. But I want to get your comments. Yay, the Mandalorian Grogu. A little known fact: my brother Grogu needs a nap. I'm his stand-in. Thank you, brother. Aha, see what you did there. Bumpy, surprised they're releasing theatrically. They must have confidence that this will make some good money. Yeah, I'm hoping some of these people have woken up that they got to take Star Wars off of television, man. The television just, at least the first 2 seasons of Mando were decent. Do you think it has potential to be hit a $1 billion box office?
That would be a thing.
I do because of Normie's love for baby Grogu, which is why he's in the title, why it's so prominent. And they think Mando kicks butt.
Yeah.
So you put those together and you deliver on a really good trailer. I think it's gonna be back to $1 billion. Absolutely. What do you think, Fletch?
No, I think that if they do this, and I do believe that adding a lot of the action elements will bring a lot more of the international audience. I mean, don't forget, I think because they announced the Avatar's movies as well. A lot of the Avatar movie and the films like Fast and the Furious, that kind of action films, they do great internationally. They make a lot of their money back internationally if they don't make it locally. So I do think that adding a lot more action. I mean, the trailer was less than a minute and something, and half of that is stuff from the show. But then at the end, it was a pedal to the metal action, and that's what international audience kind of want to see. So
Correct.
it was Fast and Furious Star Wars in a sense, yeah, because it had the nostalgia, it did have the action, it had the look, that's a cute moment. So this is going to be a big hit with international audience if they do it right.
Yeah, and they're going with also too Pedro's shooting schedule, so they shot a lot of his stuff already. And that tells you too that they're probably going to have him with the helmet off. Because if it was stuff without the helmet, they wouldn't need him until afterwards to do voiceover work. You don't need that until you're heavily in post. You're editing, you're doing music score. There's some scenes there where he's going to have his helmet off, and I think that's good. That's just personally speaking, as far as to see the stars, whether it's Captain America or Iron Man, taking off their helmets, seeing their faces for a minute, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it could be fun. Ahsoka was fun. That's the Tesla truck.
Yeah, the little truck.
Oh, get a little truck.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, Julissa. Fingers crossed. Cool. Okay, so now we're coming up to Snow White. And how's the poll doing in the chat?
Let's see what the poll's doing in the chat. So right now we have 29 votes, 20 measly votes, 29 measly votes. So the poll is: did the Snow White trailer change your mind? Oh, if you saw it, because we haven't played it yet. But so far the winner is number 2. No dwarfs live matter. So just so everybody knows, I
Latina maids at home. We got Latina maids at home.
Latina maids at home.
Yeah. Please go and vote.
Yes.
So I reacted to the trailer, to the teaser trailer, but I know there was a video of more stuff, right? Like Whistle While You Work. She's singing.
Yeah.
There's the Alfred E. Newman makes an appearance.
Right.
And other imagery. I have still shots from that. Do you have anything for us?
Let me see.
All right. While you're doing that, let me bring up these. Have you guys seen the teaser trailer? That's what I want to know first. And of course, it's been ratioed. You got the Ziegler haters are back in full effect. You have the big channels making car payments just basically off this one trailer. My hats are off to them, I mean, it can be brutal sometimes, but man, to make it a living, that's insane. Insane.
Yeah, the memes are off the hook.
Yeah, that's too much for me, man. But there's some scenes here. Let's bring this up. What does this one person say? Taylor says, okay, so the wishing well is one of my favorite scenes, especially the song and like the original. The dress here seems to be the better one. This wishing well is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. She is truly Snow White. And there is this. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So this is her at the wishing well. This is it all in the more involved. I don't know. Well, this was in the teaser. It was like, kind of like reaction shots. This is, of course, is Gal Gadot as the wicked. What is it? What Wicked Queen? I don't know.
Yeah, she's like the Wicked Queen, and the funny thing is that part seemed like completely part of the, of the original story. And then it kind of some things were changed, I guess, because in like the original, Snow White I think came first to the dwarves and their house and cleaned it up for them. And this one she makes them clean, and I guess maybe she did the work on that one. So they are changing some of the things. There is a prince though, so
yeah, really fast. Some people were. My buddy had text me. He's like, "I'm gonna throw my 2 cents here. 2 cents in here. The mirror needs to have eyes." Going back old school.
Yeah.
Okay, here he's handsome. I'm also loving the height difference on these two. Who is this? This is not Prince Charming, right? Or whatever. There's no prince in this.
Yeah, supposedly that's him.
Oh, it is a prince. They're going to bring the prince back.
Right. So they brought the prince, but we already knew there was a prince from back when she was talking about it, because it was all like, okay, I'm going to have a prince, but it's not the same story that you think it's going to be.
Right, because she's like, yeah.
Right.
While the women independent.
Yeah. Throw your dwarfs up in the air.
But which is not, it's not Snow White. That's not the Snow White story. Just do a different story.
This is a new one.
But maybe it got really bad reactions to some of their
it's gotten ratioed.
Test screenings. Well, I'm just talking about test screenings.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's this guy. All right. Yeah, I mean, they look pretty much on par as far as the look and feel of Snow White. I mean, I can't Can't hate on that. And this is her with a deer.
Yeah, so that's the little classic scene and stuff. So they are doing like the classic recreations of some of the scenes.
Yeah,
like because you even saw the witch going down the stairs, turning into
we got more images here. Got tons of images here. Yeah, I mean.
So they did have that. So they did have a lot of stuff that it's the shot for shot type deal, if people would say. So they did
look at the stairs with the with the that's cool.
Yeah,
I do like that little bunny. It's a great shot.
It's the whistle while you work thing,
or
maybe
hi ho, it's off
right.
to work.
It's off to work we go.
I love that. I love that. And I think that's her running at the behind, I guess, or something like that.
No, it wasn't. Isn't that Sleepy?
No, maybe it is. Taylor says, who we're getting all this info from, the dress. I admit I'm not the biggest fan, but I like the skirt a lot. Okay, so we'll get to kind of like the reactions in a second as far as like what people are saying, but I did hear her voice. And I did love it. Her voice at the song, right?
Right. Well, you've always been a fan of her singing.
So yeah, the dwarf thing has been a journey throughout this production. I'm not happy with the final product. Casting actual little people should have been the move. That being said, they don't look as cursed as I expected. That's funny. Taylor's on point with this.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. A lot of people are having a real adverse reactions to the dwarfs, their movements and their facial.
Well, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look good. And and who's gonna get a lot of slack if it turns out to be really bad is Ziegler, because she's acting with them, and it's just like, how the heck do you act with these CGI people?
Right. Yeah.
That's but she's a professional, man.
I mean, they probably got don't they have like the people in the suits and stuff like that?
They have stand-ins to a certain point. To a certain point, though, you are acting to space. You are acting to space. Some of the up close ones, like this, is going to be a lot of space acting. Some of the more close-ups, they'll have that person like Andy Serkis style. Okay. Ooh, the Queen's Castle. That's pretty much on point. The Queen's Castle. And this is it. This was gorgeous. Okay, she's a fan of this. Yeah. This Taylor looks like she's really, tuned in, knows about the Lord, knows about, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fan of the IP.
She's a fan of the IP. And then, of course, screaming. All right. Were you able to find anything for us?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. My wife had my phone, and I thought that I saved. Yeah, she just took my phone when, because she doesn't have X. She doesn't really do the social media.
Ooh, look at this.
Yeah, that was in the trailer, the part of the apple, but the bottom part is the one that they were showing. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, because it did show that she did walking down the stairs. You can see her kind of transforming.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me go.
So let me see here.
The guy who really posted a bunch of stuff was Jonas. But then he posted a lot of other stuff afterwards. Right.
He wasn't happy that it was whistle while you work.
Yeah, there was a big reaction to the whistle while you work because of a lot of the changes to the lyrical stuff. It's into like the musicality things. Once you start changing notes and changing the thing, you do get a lot of the.
There's a great shot here. Looking down from her throne, penthouse level
balcony.
spot. She does not look like a happy woman.
She does not.
She's aging, and that's crucial to the story. Okay, so we'll get more of that.
So they did do the mirror,
Mirror on the walls, the Ferris on the mall.
Yeah.
Magic mirror. I think she's gonna be great. This, it's got some stuff going on here. Oh, this looks cute. This looks really cute. Look at that same twirl, and then the twirl of. That's a nice cut. And then there's the transformation you're talking about.
Yeah. So
that's like from the movie. That's from the cartoon.
Yeah, it's from the cartoon. It's totally from the cartoon.
Nice. Wow.
That's funny.
Okay. So, let's just get this over with.
That's what she said.
There's been some obviously fierce reactions in regards to the casting, to Gal Gadot and Ziegler. So, what are your thoughts there, Fletcher?
Yeah, to me the movie doesn't look, it's, how people were saying it's going to look horrendous. Certain parts to me look really nice. Certain parts, kind of like this part, it just feels that it has that backdrop kind of look to it, where I think they use those screens and stuff to shoot. And it just, it kind of takes you out a little bit from it. I do like that they kept with a lot of the original costuming. You see the colors are so bright, that was kind of worrisome for some, that it was not going to be as bright. It was going to darker a little bit. So I thought that was nice. I do think that they gave her a real kind of like unfortunate haircut, regretfully, because she's a pretty girl and it doesn't really flatter her. And all the memes are really vicious on that. And, Disney as a company, you could do better, on that part. I do think the dwarfs are creepy, and I don't know if I can get my wife to go see this. And that to me is like my barometer sometimes of like how many people will go, because if like she's a pretty big normie and she was never like into the Disney princess to begin with, but sometimes she'll be like, oh, I gotta see this. So I don't get she would go see it because it's kind of like the Barbie crowd, the Elwood crowd type deal. The clueless crowd, as we shall say, also, that they kind of like those good women empowered movies that are fun and comedy. So I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work, because if it's gonna crash, it's gonna be a little bit of a disappointment, I think, for Disney. But they've been working on this for a while, so hopefully they made the changes that they needed to make it successful.
Yeah, I agree. Good takes, good observations on that. From the little that I've seen here, right? There's some beautiful, like you said, beautiful production, art direction going on, and then there's some that needs work. Like what happened?
Yeah,
especially with these 7 dwarves. That might creep kids out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see the final product. Maybe this is not a final product.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. They got all the way till March to keep refining. So that's a negative right there. Anything with the story, because you got to remember this was it co-written by Greta Gerwig, I believe.
Yeah.
How much of that feminist bent is going to be in here?
Mm-hmm.
Did they kind of get rid of it somewhat and balanced it out?
Right.
Maybe there was too much. Forget anything that Ziegler said in regards to, you know, what they were producing almost 2 years ago.
Right.
I think we have a vastly different. I'm hoping a vastly different movie at this point. I actually think it's inspired casting, and I've always thought that. I think Ziegler, because it's a musical singing, I think she's incredible, right? I'm talking about what I see on screen. Her Maria, West Side Story, and her Hunger Games. I think she could pull it off. I think also too, Gal Gadot is going to be crucial with their kind of like, you know, antagonistic relationship. That can be really good, man, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gal, you know, the whole thing is that she's this beautiful, gorgeous queen on the outside of people, but on the inside, she's decaying, and it's starting to show. That's why she's super obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
She asks, "Who's the fairest of them all?" Unfortunately, I think people are hung up on the race, on the ethnicity of Ziegler, and I think it's really unfortunate because on the same hand, we don't, you know, question Russell Crowe playing the Spaniard in Gladiator. He's just Gladiator. He's Maximus. He was amazing. This is a fantasy. It's a fairy tale. Sure, whatever. It's based on Bavarian. I don't know what, but at the end of the day, it's a fairy tale. It's you know, and I think it's inspired casting. I've always thought that. I still think that. I'm not going to change. Regardless of what I think of Ziegler and what she has put out there in the world as a young person. I'm not a fan of the haircut as well. I do love the dress. I do love, you know, her vibe. We'll see if you know, we'll see when we get a juicier trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at with my feeling on that. What do you guys think? Let me know right now. I love all Disney princesses, and I'm not impressed with the way she looks. It's not a good look.
Yeah, like I said, I had like so far all the ladies in the households and stuff that I've asked, nobody likes how she looks, and they're not interested in seeing it. So that's my fear, because that's the demographic. You know, those are who you want. You want little girls and, you know, older girls, and, you know,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's it. Just they haven't really captured so far. And
so
you know,
far,
like you see your look, it's like, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect. You know, she's dancing, she's singing, and it's great, but it's not capturing those. So yeah, like I said, all the girls in my family and all the ladies in my family, this is for them. Not nobody's interested. So that's like, whoa. To me, it was very telling. It's just they're not. Yeah, they didn't capture them.
Fair enough. Rafam, I might have to check out the second trailer. I think we all will.
Yeah.
Wex, way too many grown men getting work. Oh, Wex, come on, man. I don't like that at all. Has there been one live action adaptation that has worked? Next are Lilo and Stitch, Moana. Ooh, good point. Good point. A live act. I mean, what was that, Jungle Book? That was okay.
Yeah, but I think it didn't do as well as they wanted. The one that did really well was Lion King. If you want to call that a Lion, you know,
and I didn't see that one. That was like a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, that one did over $1 billion, I think.
Borgu, who is the fairest one of all? It's you, Gal Gadot. You're so much more beautiful than Rachel, in my humble opinion. Plus, she's got a bad attitude. To me, this is the most juvenile argument that all the, you know, channels, big and small, keep harping on. Keep harping on it. I don't care. Fairest of them all, if you're going skin deep, Snow White, and she's, the actor happens to be half Colombian, and you're cracking on your big channels, on your big Twitters and tweets and all that stuff, disgusting ethnic slurs. You keep on doing you. This is not the place for that. I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to say who you are. You know who you are. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off. We're talking about creativity. We're talking about, an entertainment piece, trying to hand it down to a next generation. And this is what you got. That's the whole point, by the way, is that Gal Gadot has to be beautiful, has to be stunning, because she's getting older. And you know what? She's a creepy witch underneath. That's the whole point. And you have this innocent, young Snow White, that she represents purity and honesty. She don't got none of that. That's the fairest of them all. But you go back and forth. Again, if it's not good, that's one thing. But you coming after me, if you come at me with anything that's racial, with anything that's discriminatory, you can get effed. I don't want to hear it. I don't. Plus, she's got a bad attitude. That's the actor. If you can't have discernment, I don't know what to tell you. I can tell you this. Most actors have shitty attitudes. That's just the way it is. You really, really hang out with actors, right? All of them. And you know what? I'm married to one. She's got a great attitude. I know real. But most of them, they're into themselves. It's part of the game. That's what it takes to be an actor, to be successful. You have to be so vulnerable in your performance, so vulnerable in your profession, that it's really a profession about you. And yes, it's very narcissistic. And then you act like your shit don't stink. Yeah, you have a bad attitude. You're not endearing. People don't like you. Your fans don't, you're going to have fans, and then you'll have the ones that aren't fans. I get it. I understand. But this fandom that professes to be so like, oh, don't be such a baby, have thicker skin. Boy, you guys have the weakest skin when it comes to stuff like this. It's amazing. It's almost psychotic. It's almost, like you're bipolar. Get a grip, right? It's entertainment. You don't like it, I get it. But you belittle the argument, the work, the person, oh, they have a bad attitude. They talk shit about somebody. Get off social media. I don't know what to tell you. You don't go see it. Okay. But if it's not good, I will be the first to say it's not good. That's what I got. And what do we got? What other comments? Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Woo! 130 people hanging out with us combined on all the channels, all the platforms. I love it. Thank you guys so much. It's Alien Week.
Yep.
It is Alien Week. Who is going to see Alien?
Well, we got Rosa going to see Alien.
She
tomorrow,
is,
right?
As we know right now, she's wrapping up seeing Alien, and we're going to have her early reaction tonight on the channel. We're going to post it. Alien Romulus, Rosa Potter, our critic, is going to deliver the goods on her reaction. However, there's been some missteps, Fletcher. So I want to bring this up because we talk a little aliens, and let's bring up the OG trailer from 1979. This is Alien. I'm going to lower this a little bit. Yeah, it's lowered. Okay. It's a very bizarre but effective trailer, huh? And then you get it builds up. It's almost like a horror trailer, Fletcher. It's less sci-fi, more horror.
Yeah, that was the premise, right? It's like a horror sci-fi hybrid.
Yep. And you get this here. And you can almost say Fede kind of replicated that one in the new one. So here it is. In space, no one can hear you scream. Alien. Okay? Can you read that for me one more time?
In space, no one can hear you scream. Alien.
Okay, everyone remember that, please? Remember that. Because there's been a PR misstep. Oh, boy. We go to Robert Meyer Burnett on X. He posted 20th Century Studios sponsored ad. No one can hear you scream in space. Get tickets now for Alien Romulus. The famous tagline. But then Robert says, if you need any more proof how clueless people who work at studios these days really are, the marketing staff can't even get the best tagline in cinema history correct. Does it matter? Probably not. But it effing does. Does nobody bother to do their jobs these days? Fletcher, what say you?
Yeah, this is like AI. You had one job, and all you had to do was like go look it up. But you were like, oh, what? Let's Google. What was that catchphrase?
The original catchphrase: in space, no one can hear you scream.
Couldn't do it. Only had one job. One job.
Couldn't do it. And I'm so glad that
Mr. Burnett caught that.
That he caught it, man.
Yeah.
Because these people, they work so hard on these movies.
Yeah.
Right? You had the passing of the mantle in this case from Ridley Scott to Fede Alvarez, right? And you got the movies, you got the interviews, and Ridley Scott kind of like, christening him. But he sent a message too.
Yes.
As well.
And that was posted on his official Instagram.
His official Instagram. Dear Fede, good luck, good health, good hunting. Don't F up. Very best wishes, Ridley Scott.
And you can tell Fede is very PC about it because, if it was anybody else, probably, put an Instagram back going like, well, like kind of like what you did to the last few movies, bro.
What happened to what?
Like, he's too much of a gentleman to write back. Kind of like what you did to the last movies, bro.
Oh, gotcha. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. He kept that. I'm going to keep, I'm going to give you your respect, old man, because I love Blade Runner. I love your old stuff, but don't come at me like that. That's funny, man. But that's a great great post. I mean, and this is probably right before the filming of it.
Right. Yeah.
But he just put this up now.
Right. No pressure.
So, yeah, I don't know how much you're knowledgeable about aliens. Are you into this lore?
Actually, there's one of those things, where I don't mind Alien. I'm not really into the body horror thing that much, like an interest. I do like that they use practical effects. I did see that Fede did go back to some practical effects, which was great. But it's Aliens is not one of the things that I have a problem with because it's not demonic, it's not a thing, it's aliens. So it's it's not something that the church kind of goes, hey, you shouldn't watch this. So I grew up, with family members watching it, and it's one of those things that I think it kind of fell off, after like Aliens 3 was a little bit disappointing, I think, and then the Prometheus stuff was just way out there. I was like, what is this? So
Covenant.
Yeah, I mean, just like, what are you going with this? Because the thing is, it's so pretty to look at. So you're kind of going, oh, I'm just not getting it. Maybe I need to watch this. It's one of those movies where you kind of say, maybe I need to watch it again with smarter people, and then maybe they could rub off on you because
Right.
I'm not getting it. To me, this feels like this movie sucks, but you feel like bad saying it because it looks so artistic, and you're like, yeah, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm not getting the deeper meaning behind all the symbolism. But then you just kind of go, I just don't get it. What the heck was that? Were they the mist?
Yeah.
What the heck is that black flying sludge?
I mean, I got really lost in regards to like timelines with the movies and the books. So I found this. I thought it'd be good for people for all of us to kind of like refresh our memories, or whether we even thought about this stuff. But here's the timeline of all the films. And I'm like, man, how many movies do we gotta have here? Okay,
yeah.
So I'm gonna ignore the first two ones up there. We got Prometheus, we got Alien Covenant. All right, so we're going 2093, 2104. Alien takes place 2122. Alien Romulus is going to take place 20 years after the first Alien, 2142. And then chronologically, you keep going with Aliens, 2179. And then Alien 3, 2179. And then the final one, what is that? Alien Resurrection. Oh, God, that was old. 2381, guys. 2381.
Yeah,
and that's how you watch the franchise, according to them. So have you seen all these films? Have you...
Yeah, so unfortunately I've seen the majority of them. And I even watched Requiem, Alien versus Predator. The funny thing is that this is just
you've seen them all?
Sanders had to. I think he's a pretty big fan.
Wow, that's cool. Wow,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, he has to have them. And these are just the films, Paulie. They have comics.
Oh no, they have comics.
The comics are all over. Yeah, the comics, the books.
We have the author of Alien Vasquez on here.
Yeah, so it's like, even with all that, it's just like, whoa. And they still, I don't know. It's almost like, why don't they come to Earth? You're kind of like,
unfortunately,
yeah.
That's
unfortunately, actually, no. But it's just like they could have. I think it would be so interesting to see would somebody like FedEx come in and do kind of like, all right, finally they're on Earth, and now it's like this world battle type of like what Jurassic World should be, like what Jurassic World the book is, and I think that would just be amazing, wouldn't it? Especially with hit movies like what was that, the one that just came out, The Last of Us? It wasn't The Last of Us, it was Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah, because basically, yeah, right. Isn't like a Quiet Place like basically Aliens, the way they have them flying around and stuff now. So a Quiet Place is basically Alien, and those movies are not they're not expensive. So
well, yeah, our good friend Sander, Prometheus was the best thing since Aliens. At least they were trying to get away from the crew, gets terrorized by the xenomorph trope. I think you're the only person that thinks like this, Sander.
No, I heard that a lot. There's a lot of I know that I have friends who like Prometheus because it does get away from the trope because they're trying something new,
Yeah, but I don't think they stuck the landing. I think it was,
that's it's one of those. Well, neither
the most Alien versus Predator game was actually very cool.
Yes, the Predator game is pretty boss.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people after the trailer saying, "I'm dusting it off."
Okay, so Sander, Jaime, are you guys Are you guys excited about the new film? Are you guys excited about the new film?
They have to be.
Hard to catch the stream. My notifications are garbage. We set up this stream 24 hours before. Usually gets out to people. So sorry about that, my friend.
Make sure you get that notification bell so you're able to, catch it and have notifications on.
Yeah.
So
this was supposed to be on Hulu like Prey. The director's passion and dedication to the story made the execs change their mind to release it in theatrical, so fingers crossed. Man, they should have Prey in the theater.
Yeah, Prey should have been in the theater, yeah.
That's crazy.
So, I think that's so the argument is that that even if it was, we agree Prey should have been in the theaters because it was well done. So if that's the same, then this is it's a lower budget and it's more if you saw the trailer, it moves along very quickly. It doesn't seem like it.
Well, even the trailer has the feeling of the vibe of the Alien trailer that I played.
It has that like boom, 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 boom. But Aliens scary, at the beginning, you have like a little bit of a pace. It lulls you into security. Where this one, I don't know how much of that lulling into security is gonna happen.
Well, listen, it's. I think at the end of the day, it might be a little cookie cutter. Copy and paste, but it is Fede. We'll see how it goes. I love this poster though.
It's cool. Have you seen they had are
they like running around all over town and stuff?
Yeah, they had some really inspired marketing for this. I think the marketing, the funny thing is that of course our Robert Meyer Burnett catches the one thing in the marketing that they did wrong, but they actually did some pretty cool stuff with the marketing.
It's a different team because like a street team. Let's do some localization in different towns. They killed it.
And every country has a different one.
Right.
So this was one from they were from I think France. So the team in France put out they had like an installation that they did in a movie theater chain, and it was amazing. So let's see if I can show it to you.
No problem. So while you're trying to find that, later tonight, guys, we will post the Alien Romulus first reaction from Rosa Para, our film critic. She is it's probably ending at this point. If it I don't know how many trailers they did because it is a media screening, which tends to be different. Let's see where she's at. Let me see. Trying to find her. Here we go.
So that's gonna go on the Latino Slant website first?
No. We're gonna put it on both.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because it'll be an audio reaction.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I didn't get into the media screen, so I'll see it. I won't see it till Thursday. So what we're getting from Rosa is this first reaction, and then after the embargo lifts, I believe Wednesday, her written review. So that is really cool. And then, like I said, this Thursday, I will do my out of the theater reaction to Alien Romulus, and we'll be Alien Romulus week here. Gonna have all kinds of coverage for you guys. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is way cool.
Yeah, so that was an installation in France. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool what they do in different countries. They have just a budget and they're like, get the most out of what you're getting in. So so it basically just read that Cinemorphs are landing in cinemas, and they're gonna rendezvous, which is just they're gonna arrive the 14th of August.
So they had actors walking around with face huggers at Comic-Con.
Yeah, Comic-Con. Yeah. And I did see there was another, I forgot what country they did it, where they had people, I think they were doing it in New York or something, where they just have people pretending to be dead with face huggers on them. I saw that. So I thought,
I have mixed feelings, but I'll watch it eventually, Jaime says.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
rough, you know.
If this was in France too, that's probably really smart too, because it was you know, the Olympics were happening there last 2 weeks, so you know a lot of people saw this, man.
Right.
I already knew before Scott announced that his new Aliens movie would deal with the origin of the Xenomorph. Okay.
Yeah.
Waiting for In a World. Man, I miss that guy.
Yeah.
In a World. Nice.
Where aliens descend. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Superior Nav. Have you guys, has everyone subscribed to the channel on YouTube? Get on over there right now. Make sure you are subscribed. That is very cool. That is awesome. Glad you guys are liking it. Hey, let's close the poll.
All right.
44 votes. All right. That's decent.
Not bad. Yeah.
That's decent. We have the results coming up.
Let's see.
There we go.
There we go.
I'll copy and paste.
Okay.
What do you got? What do you got for us, brother?
All right. So we got obviously the winner was number 2. The question was, did the Snow White trailer change your mind? Winner was number 2. No dwarfs' lives matter. Yeah, I had to culturally appropriate that from Dante.
And then look at you getting all racial, man. See, you trigger me, man. You trigger me.
Triggered. That's how we do it. So the coming up on very, very back end of the second place, we got Latina Maids at Home.
Wow.
And then see whistling while I get my ticket. And then that dead last but tied with number 1 is maybe how much to clean a duplex.
Man, you dude, you're just, you know, you're putting our people back. I just gotta say.
I wasn't the one who put, you know,
who created this? You created this poll.
No, I was not the one who put a Colombian lady cleaning a house. You know,
why does she gotta be? She's not. She's an actor who happens to have Colombian descent.
What?
Now, if you're saying to me they rewrote it to where it's a Latina Snow White, then we got problems. But it is a credible actress. Forget how vile she can be playing Snow White. Then you all got a racial. Don't start me again, man. I'm gonna piss everyone off tonight.
That's all my family saw. They're like, wait a minute, we got to clean now.
Yeah, a little there's something slow, you know, like a subliminal messaging there. I get it, man. I get it. Dwarves Lives Matter, so true. That got my vote.
Funny. Oh my gosh, my wife was so angry at that. Angry at that. It's
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, so many little people actors that could have made like a real good, chunk of change, probably buy a house from that work, you know, just because one said, yeah, no, not cool, man. It's like, what? After you make your money and now you decide that you know, that it's not cool for people to do it. That's that. I thought that was messed up. That was messed up.
Well, we have a couple of more pop items for you guys. We have to say goodbye, unfortunately, to an acting legend. You know, before I bring this gentleman's epilogue up, so many actors of this gentleman's generation had to do the roles of so many drug dealers and landscapers and stereotypes, and yet brought dignity and just badassery to those roles. From Pepe Serna to Marcos Rodriguez, to Kiki Castillo, going all the way back. You could even say to We Don't Need No Stinking Badges actor, Clifton Gonzalez. And now we lost an acting legend this past weekend. Unfortunately, let's bring him up. Scarface's icon Angel Salazar has passed at 68. Gonna make this a little bigger. Okay, good. Hopefully you guys can read that a little easier. All right. Angel Salazar, famously known for his role as Chichi in the iconic film Scarface, has passed away at 68. Beyond his unforgettable performance, Salazar was also a celebrated comedian with multiple HBO specials and an appearance on Last Comic Standing. He will be remembered for his contributions to film and comedy alike. Rest in peace. And there's some of this movie. That's, of course, him in Scarface. It's him recently signing autographs. Another Scarface. He was great in that. I mean, so memorable.
Yeah, and so young.
Still pretty young. I mean, 68 nowadays, but he got a lot of love.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was, I mean, hugely loved in the Cuban community.
So here at the Latino Slant, we pay our respects to the Salazar family and the joy that this actor gave us, though, throughout the years. That's what it's all about. Rest in peace, Angel Salazar.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So young.
Rest in peace. He died yesterday, I believe. Yeah, I just saw this morning.
Yeah.
68. It's funny that 68 now is too young.
Right? Yeah. No, but
get your copy before it's rebooted. Yeah, right? We got the guitar emoji. Ooh, let's throw some emojis in. Let's throw some emojis in there for Angel. Right on.
Nice.
Still so young. Definitely wanted to hear her reaction. Whose reaction? You lost me, Bootzilla. Whose reaction did you want to see? Yeah, Dinklage probably shot it for all those little people actors.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, look at Mr. Salazar. He basically made his career with that one movie. And then you have Mr. Dinklage, which, literally plays an elf. And then he says, well, you can't play, magical dwarfs. I'm like, dude, really? Wow. I mean, so many hardworking actors. And then you have something, because like you were saying, what does Miss Ziegler have, pushing back at her from an actor standpoint? If you have a great small person actor, she can vibe better. You get a better performance out of her. Everybody wins, and we don't have the CGI mess. Also, it's cheaper for the studio, because it's less. People believe that CGI, it's cheaper, but guess what? These actors, they're not the most expensive actors, and you get such a beautiful reaction, such beautiful performances probably out of them. That, I mean, what the heck is going on? I mean, this is the second movie. I think that other one that they did that had prominent little people was Time Bandits, that they redid, and they took them out too. And it's like, is this like a war on them? Poor actors.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, man. It's pretty embarrassing because for a time, and we talk about, like you said, Angel Salazar. We're gonna bring up another oldie but goodie who's still alive, but I didn't know about that he did this role. We're gonna bring it up. That the roles for so many decades were so limiting 4 actors who happen to be of Latino background, that they did them with dignity. They did them to the best of their abilities, and they were either typecast, but still they worked like the little people actors, or the gangster actors. They weren't able to ascend like a Eddie Almos or a John Leguizamo, and now you have the Pedro Pascals and Oscar Isaacs. It's a new game. It's a different, which is fantastic, but it's taken a long time to get there. But you're seeing, this older generation passing away. Look at all they sacrificed, man.
Right.
Look at the Kenny Bakers. Look at all those little people actors that have sacrificed. Peter, as great of an actor as he is, and we go back to that bad attitude, right? Someone said a bad attitude. That guy is a cocksucker. And I'm sorry for the language, but that's all I can say. And then he's a drunk one to begin, right? He was spewing it out drunk. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You not only don't speak for a people, but you at that moment, which you think you do, but you are able to what? You're able to take away work for a people.
Yeah.
Wow,
that to me, like, it had my wife, so hot, because when she was young, she did a little bit of acting. She remember going to castings and stuff like that, and it was like, no way. You know how many people would like kill to have that opportunity, and there's so many actors that we don't even get to see because of what? The impediment they have nothing to do with. It's not their fault that they were born that way, and you're taking away a role that they could shine in like he did. So that to me was the worst.
Thank you guys for your comments. Benicio del Toro is the best. That guy gave away a lot of gave a lot of South America, gave way to a lot of South American actors.
Yeah.
Well, he's a pioneer. He's a pioneer because Benicio came at a time in the late 80s where he was a very young, kind of different type of actor from theater, from the Joe Papp stage in New York. You got to understand, and I'm going to get to that. I have so many triggers tonight. Forgive me, Lord. That Hollywood didn't really know what to do with him. He kind of played like some, I'm talking about Benicio, kind of like those typical, very squankly gang members, some really bad in really bad films.
Yeah, some villains
that were pretty forgettable. But then he popped. He started making noise in a little James Bond role he had, and then he just started, like, oh, this guy's different. And of course, when his role in Usual Suspects was the one that really broke the mold to where he's a chameleon actor, like a Anthony Quinn and like Edward James Olmos before him. So yeah, I to this day I'll watch anything new from Benicio. I saw Reptile a month or two ago, and watched Benicios Inside the Actors Studio. Man, I used to love that show. To be fair, but I love the rebuttal. I don't think Dinklage's intention was to crap on and prevent casting of other dwarf actors. He just wanted SJW points, but the consequence was less casting of other dwarfs.
Yeah, but he knows. He must have known that. Must have known that there was backlash, and there was a lot of people of the small acting community that fought back, and he never said, "Hey." All he had to do was then apologize. Right?
That would be one thing if he was like this young actor, like kind of making his way into the world. But this guy was all right. This guy was like, multi-Emmy Award winning TV, film. No other small little actor reached his heights. I like that. Reached his heights like Peter did, and it's earned. He's incredible. I love watching him. But no, man, that was savage. That was savage. And he's a smart guy, you know. There must have been something else going on, like some shame going on, and that's it. Clever Paulie. Hey, one of my favorite actors. Must see for me. Yeah, Bootzilla. Don't apologize. Rant, move the needle. Oh, I got one. I got one. Let's go. We're gonna do a rant. I'll do a rant. So there were some friends of mine that are on a friendly channel that went down the well-trodden, tiring argument of all actors are stupid. And that the only real actors of merit maybe are theater actors. And little did they know, and maybe they did know, but maybe they were trying to, take a little argument and make something out of nothing. Well, little YouTubers, you're dead wrong. Because the reality is the best actors that you see on television and film have one thing in common. The ones that you remember, the ones that can take a scene, a role, a guest star, and make it something so memorable that they come back, and come back. They have one thing in common. They're all theater actors. Heavily trained for the craft. You don't know their names. It's like that character actor. Oh, yeah. Theater. You take a hit TV show. Let's say right now, Jake Gyllenhaal's Presumed Innocent on Apple TV. Fantastic. What they did with that ensemble, David E. Kelly, what he created with that ensemble is he casted all these actors for all 8 episodes, or 8 or 10, and there were no guest stars because he trusted this ensemble that he created. From small roles to medium roles to the big ones, with this thick story of dialogue and relationships and close-ups on people's faces and acting. And you know what? The majority of that cast, they're from theater. And to say that actors are stupid is probably another lazy, cheap, and ultimately misleading of your audience argument you could have. It's in vogue to put actors down in their profession. Hell, the great Gary of Neurotic does it. He calls them what? Adult pretenders. Sure. Those adult pretenders keep all those channels in business, don't they? Yeah, it's easy to go after the ones that, say off-putting things outside of their acting projects. That's a different argument. But to say that they just show up magically and perform just lines, and whether they're believable or not, or whether they're capable or not, again, is just this lazy and ultimately ignorant argument that I've heard time and time again from the big channels to the small channels. Now, say it in their faces. I've said it in their faces, and I'm saying it to you now. Y'all are full of shit. I get so emotional about this because, like your loved ones that you support in their fields of choice, like whether they're like an accountant or they're a construction worker, you just want them to be happy because they want to be the best. They work so hard at it. They train, They learn, they go back to school, they come to school, and they, then they get their career and they're off and running. Here, being trained, going back to school, acting class, mentors, one-on-ones, Juilliard level training is not a ticket for employment. Do you understand that? It means nothing in regards to a guaranteed career. All it means is that you have a calling. You have an obsession. You are an artist, man. And it comes from your gut. Fuck what anyone else thinks. That's what I want to do. I have a calling. I want to act. I want to write. I want to direct. I want to create. Nothing else matters. And that we have to not put down and crap on. We need to celebrate it. And if you're calling these people just adult pretenders, buddy, who are you pretending to be? So I get so triggered because I know the numbers, the odds, you want to gamble with your life? Let's gamble with your life. Pick the profession where you will probably never get a job. And if you do get a job, it's maybe after 100 times of trying, and you get maybe a measly line on a little film. And that is successful. That's successful. Do you have the guts to stick it out day in, day out, year in, year out? No, because you're the lazy one. You're the pretender. Give me a break, because you do not know the actual guts it takes to stay in this game day in, day out. For what? Because you have a calling. You have a calling. This is not a career where, you're going to get, there's no guarantee of nothing. The only guarantee is that you are obsessed with this. There's not even a guarantee of an audition. Forget the next job. I'm going to leave it with this. Our favorite gal, Romy Diaz, was getting some pretty big auditions. And as you know, she works a lot. But lately, it had been silent for a few months. No auditions. But some stuff in the books that had already been done. As you guys know, Grey's Anatomy come out. Some other TV show came out. And then now her movie, her independent film came out. But she wasn't booking. She was getting close. She was like a little down. She felt a little down. And I said, honey, you are already an all-star. You are Mookie Betts. You are Shohei. You are the greatest at what you do. All you're doing right now is batting practice. That's all you're doing. You're staying sharp. Then the next week, she gets booked on something that I can't even tell you guys yet. But let me tell you, it's one of the biggest roles to date for her. So, am I biased? Sure, I'm a little biased. It's because I've been around actors since I was a kid. And I know so much of what, these folks go through. So that is my stand up for the, I don't know, the actors there. Fletcher.
the actor Raza.
Yeah, man. You know a lot. You know what's going on. We got first reactions from Rosa Para. Let's read this really quick though. Great rant. Wow, who says this? So disrespectful to actors. Great point. Preach. Thank you, CJC. Superior. More of a motivational speech than a rant. I like it. Yeah, man. I know Fletcher wants me to be more ranty. I don't know, man. I just end up trying to inspire people to come on.
I know. It's like man. Ranty on the acolyte.
Stop it.
Skeleton Crew.
But see, even then with the Acolyte, I have a hard time. Because, yeah, it's easy, you know, Amandla and all the... But, you know, I can't. I had to stop because I know her family. It's like they came to me, hey, how do you like her show? I'm like, I had to stop watching. I told her I was honest. I had to stop watching. I think she's great. You know, maybe a little white lie. But I know her mom, dude.
Yeah.
You know, what am I saying? What's up, babe? I'm wrapping up. It's been an epic one. We had the Trump and the Elon and the that's Romy's political stance. Go.
What was that?
Romy's political stance is. Oh, I love it. Okay, all right, where are we? Thank you, Rex Wuto. Good points. Thank you, Jaime. I know you're a creative man. You do creative projects. You know what I'm talking about. Much love to everyone in the chat. I'm supportive of you guys. You guys support me in the channel. Okay. All right. So we're remind me where are what do we got? We got
talking
Rosas.
about Alien.
Yes. Let me get to this because the fact that she's out and that she put this up says a lot. Okay, you guys ready for the first reaction to Alien? Romulus? Our own Rosa Para, film critic. Here we go. Alien Romulus is a hell of a thrill. I'm shaken from the tension and suspense this film brings. The characters are written well enough to keep me invested in the performances give it an emotional lift. Wow, my heart is still pounding. An in-theater experience for the memories.
So probably she hated it.
So what you're saying is you hated it.
You hated it. It's terrible.
That's terrible. Look at that! I got over 109 peeps on X. Look at that! Look at that! Yeah, we're right there above Lethal Lightning, above deleted scenes. I'm just kidding. Anyways, that's it right there, Rosa. And we're gonna be. She already sent me her audio. Give me she sent it over. Do we want to hear this?
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, how can I? Let me see if I can share this. This is kind of interesting. How do I share this? It's a MP4.
Right. You should be able to download it into your system, and then if you have your system hooked up like you do, like if you do photos and stuff, which you do, you should just be able to play it in voice.
Okay, all right, let me do this. Give me a second, guys. And I had another oldie, but I don't know if I can get to that because Romy gave me that look.
That look.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're gonna wrap it up.
Well, blame Trump. Okay, so now what you're saying is maybe I can pull it as a video file. No, it's M4A.
Yeah, that should it should work. It should be embedded. You can embed it into a video, or you can.
No, but how can I share it here? How can I share it here?
The same way you share the
What's
videos.
up, Dave Bob? Never give up, never surrender. Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So the file.
Oh, that was my speech. That's what he's saying. Never give up, never surrender.
Yes.
I know. Okay. Okay. Oh, Lort. Yeah.
I mean, you might even get away with playing it from Twitter, but I don't know how it does.
No. This is exclusive to us.
No, I understand. I'm saying in the background because she sent it to you in a text or in a
text. Okay, so now, I think I know what to do here. Hold on.
Yeah. So for those waiting, what we're doing is we're getting the first audio review of Rosa Para, who just came out of Aliens. Romulus, the Romulus alien.
Gotta make sure there's
no personal information in there. Hopefully,
I think we're good with the personal info. What do you think here?
After the fact, yes, very good.
What's that?
after the facts, after you put it on screen.
I know. And it's all Latino slant stuff, but I'm looking at. Okay, can you hear it now?
Not yet.
Wait, hold on. Let me play.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
No. Yeah, we're playing. Yeah. I see it playing, but it's not. Yeah, that's coming through the audio. All right.
Okay, so
you would have to open it up and it kind of like
and
open
before
it up from
we
this.
Can't see if she brought an alien head. I know
that's that's the thing.
You get a popcorn bucket.
Was there buckets? That's was the buckets of ducats exchanged.
Love Las Vegas, great film. Which one? Oh, Sex and Lucia. Yes. Yeah, Las Vegas in Spanish is, but in English,
Las Vegas in Spanish is
acting
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just have to make a video real quick. I'm gonna put it up right now. Okay. So why don't you? But I need my phone for it. So I think we got to close up. 134 people combined watching.
But you just hold the phone to the mic. Go low school.
Okay. All right.
Old school, low school in the house.
Low pro, low.
Low pro, yeah, low fi.
Okay, all right. Everyone calm down here.
Hello, everyone. This is Rosa Barra. I am coming at you from Burbank. Just walked out from just watching the press screening of Alien Romulus.
Fletcher, can you hear it?
Yeah, and just hold where the mic is on the bottom.
I'm not kidding when I say I am shook.
To the mic. There you go.
I am shook. I walked out of that theater.
Yeah, there
incredibly tense. I had to shake it off because I was tense through the entirety of this movie. Holy moly, what an incredible film. I was coming to this movie with the least amount of expectations, and I walked out of it incredibly thrilled and happy and having enjoyed myself and having experienced something that I haven't had experienced in the movie.
Yeah. Well, that was short and sweet.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. There we go.
Everything that comes along, written and they're developed, experienced something that I haven't had experienced in the movie theater in quite some time. From the storyline to the sound design to the direction of the movie to the way these characters are written and they're developed, and they kept me invested in their outcomes, and just the terror and the horror of these characters having to deal with these aliens and the pods and just everything that comes along with the franchise. It was just incredibly well done. From my understanding, this movie takes place between the first and the second movie. So if you need to refresh your memory a little, I suggest to watch those two movies. But holy moly, what an incredible film. I cannot wait to elaborate on what I just witnessed. But man, it was shot on IMAX, so please see it as such, because not only will you be visually immersed in the movie, you will also be, the sound design is done to such extent, along with the score, to enhance the suspense and the thrill, but also it invites you and it gives you like a little perspective and experience of what it is to be inside a ship along with these characters, and it's so exhilarating and so incredible. I'm gonna be talking about this movie for quite some time. Keep an eye out for my review. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Great job from Rosa Para. We're gonna put that audio video up tonight. because they're letting us do reactions as far as embargo. So it's all fair. Okay, dude, we're done. We're out of here.
We're done. All right.
We're out of here. I want to thank all the members of the Latino Slant. Fletch, what do you got?
So we got coming out of the theater reaction from you this Thursday, I believe. Yeah,
I'm seeing it Thursday night. J-Ho, it was fun. I'm glad to hear Rosa loved it. She's correct on when it takes place. I will try to find your email.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you. Yeah, latinoslant at gmail.com. Hopefully it'll revitalize franchise because lots of potential for great stories from our member Jaime and Julissa. Her reaction makes me want to see it more than the trailer I watched at IMAX. Can't wait to see your reaction Thursday, Paulie. Can't wait till it's out. Dave Bob.
Yeah. Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
Thursday. You have a show Wednesday.
Yes. So Wednesday, we're gonna be talking to the director of a little film by John Montezuma, who's a Mexican filmmaker, and we're gonna unravel some of his mystery that surrounds him as he disappeared not too long ago when he was doing some fights with a luchador in Mexico.
What?
And tune in for that. And plus, we're going to be covering a lot of the trailers that came out and one of the first Argentinian superheroes and a lot more. So
that's you and Lily 300 Mirrors.
It's going to be me because Lily still has family engagements to attend to. So yeah, it's going to be me and maybe Mickey. So special guest. So it's going to be
special guest every Wednesday night, Midnight's Edge. Every Wednesday day, Midnight's Edge Espanol. We have that going on, and later this week, our political show episode 3 is coming up. Voto 2024. There's definitely not going to be a shortage of stuff to talk about. Oh boy! All right, everyone in the chat. Love you all. Opening night, fan night event for me. I'm there too, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm there too.
There's gonna be a lot of people going.
I got my ticket. I'm gonna get that popcorn bucket. Buenas noches. Politics suck. Yes, they do. Hello. Hey, you're late, man. Watch the replay. Thank you for being a member. We love you all. Say good night.
Good night.